Hello everybody, hello everybody. This is me again. I was here yesterday to do certain things, obviously Netrunner related, playing around with the new standard ban list for fun and profit. But tonight it's getting all real and serious. We're gonna be fighting in the Fite Club, episode 2 of season 2. We have a lot of fun prepared. Actually, I should be changing screens already. We have the Bavarian Beer and Bretzel Brigade fighting against Fear the Masses. I'm going to be telling you a bit more about the teams in a few seconds, but you can actually check the deck lists and take a look at all the cards being played today at tiny.cc/Fite Club. So you can check this on your own. It's on the screen right now, the link tiny.cc/Fite Club. It's also in the stream description, and I will be dropping it every now and then into the chat, courtesy of Mar, the organizer, also known as Princess Space Kitten. She put this really cute, awesome tiny.cc link, which makes it so much easier to find the deck list. Okay, today we're gonna have quite a lot of fun because we have the previous winners, or the winners of the first game, the defending champions of Fite Club, sitting on the throne, or maybe it's a three-persons throne. Shorty, Late, and Hermes, versus Fear the Masses with Mobius Striptease, Faye, and Quark Butter playing. And I happen to know for a fact, and hello Jessica, good to have you on the stream. I happen to know for a fact that we already know what the first game will be in this tournament today. So we're gonna get there in a second. Let's not rush in just yet. Players are still taking time and the teams are talking about stuff. But we're gonna have Shorty playing Kentenma and Faye playing Asa Group. What am I even talking about? So yeah, Faye on Asa and Shorty on Kentenma. These are lists built before the new standard ban list 2006. So that's going to be a blast from the past. No, I'm kidding. This is still a legal bunch of deck lists for now. And I'm going to be joined by the ever lovely and absolutely amazing Peter, also known as Percomis. I'm going to be jumping into the chat right now. Should I be going places already? Yeah. I'm jumping places already. So I hope I can be heard on the streamers channel. Peter, jump in any moment you want.
Hey.
Hey, I may have to tweak some settings again because of course I'm such a setting heavy person, but yeah, can you say something again? Wait, I'm gonna make you louder. Tell us things. How are you doing?
Well, it's been a long day in work, but I'm looking forward to the weekend and seeing some Netrunner games.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to exactly the same. So yeah, well, while we're preparing for things and whatnot, and we're very sad that Jessica won't be able to watch us, but still, that's okay. We'll have to survive. What are your hot takes on the standard ban list? Because I haven't had a chance to hear from you yet about it, and tell me more. What do you think? Do you have any hot takes?
Well, so when I looked at the list, the two things jumped out right away is that Geist and Asa are virtually untouched. So like those are my go-to decks right now to try out. But I think there's a lot of changes. I think it will shake up the meta quite substantially, and I'm really curious to see like what falls out as the best decks.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, this sounds definitely like my position as well, because I mean, you are a way more accomplished player when it comes to playing on a competitive level than myself. But I'm super curious to see what people are going to come up with and how generally those new decks, this new meta is going to clash, with people's let's call it muscle memory in a way, going like, oh yeah, I'm playing against this deck, so this is what's gonna be happening. But it's like, no. You can toss this out of the window. Asmari is gone, Gagarin's gone, certain cards are gone.
Can you imagine a world?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, wait a second. I just got a message. That the game is up. Oh, the game is up. Yeah. Okay. So we're switching to the game. I assume there's a password somewhere. Maybe.
What password was posted by Mar and
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I don't hack the matrix the wrong way. Such a password. Like seriously. Okay, the game's up. And have you played against any of these players here?
I might have. I played a bunch of people. I don't remember the exact names. My bad if I actually played with them. and I don't remember, but I have, I don't know.
So what are the general expectations? I mean, Asa Group is, as we know, the list, of course, and Ken the same. But seeing those two IDs and seeing those two decks, what do you see happening here? And now you have to imagine we're sitting in a sports studio. We're both wearing suits, and there's like advertising flying around us. We're in this virtual thing with like some weird badass tables.
What you're talking about? I am sitting in a suit at my badass table, as always, in quarantine. When I see Asa, I immediately think a bunch of remotes and fully operational. And looking at the deck list we've got, that's exactly what's happening on Asa's on Phase side. For Kentema, like whenever I see Kentema, I'm thinking run events and why do they need that level of influence? So usually I'm thinking APOC. This Kentema deck does not have APOC. It just has general good stuff, UNs. So yeah, I think it will be an interesting tempo matchup because Asa has a lot of tempo, but then Kentema is making money on runs. So it's like the usual back and forth of who can be faster, who can out tempo the other side, so to say.
Yep, got you. We're starting here. Good luck to everybody. I was going to look at the lists in the meantime as well because I did read them before the tournament. Now I just want to make sure that I'm actually aware of what's going on here. I'm just saying by round 5 the game will be over. That's my prediction.
Round.
Yeah.
I mean turn 5.
Sorry, turn 5. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, round turn. Yeah, I always mix those things up. But yeah, turn 5 it's done.
Yeah. That can happen. That requires a Vacaron steal in like turn 1 or 2, and then then it's realistic. Asa doesn't usually score out on turn 5. You see a very conservative start from Asa. I assume, hopefully, it is because otherwise there won't be a lot of money to have. And yeah, closing off most of the essentials. Archives is still open, so it can be dirt laundried back and forth. Also, this is a good point to still go for bravados, for example, to get ice res because drafter doesn't do that much value right now. And getting a gatekeeper res early on when you don't actually have to break it is also very, very much value play. Plus, Hagen doesn't do as well either; just costs money.
Yep.
So yeah, so we see Shorty do the right thing, as in not respecting face checks. To be fair, it's a legit thing against these Asa decks because, again, early on, the ice don't hurt that much. Like, there's no fully operational to take back the drafter. Gatekeeper goes to 0 strength immediately, which is like very much breakable by Amakura, for example, which this Kentama deck has one of. So I think this makes sense. And also now the other two centrals are open. Like only vanilla can be rezzed at this.
Here comes the Vacheron steal, by the way. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a steal of Vacheron. Like I can.
Yeah, single access is the only Vacheron in HQ. Is like pretty standard play.
Oh, mega pre-qualifier, fair enough. Sorry, that's a different agenda. But I'm telling you,
that works.
Yeah.
Turn on.
Turn 5, done.
Turn 5, yes, turn 5.
Yep.
Turn 5 is still on the table.
And by the way, I'm by no means I'm trying to gamble here or bet money or anything. I'm just saying by turn 5 this is going to be done, and that's my prediction. I'm just very aggressive here. I see like Princess Space getting here laughing at me from behind the window. It's like, yeah, well, that's
I mean, it could happen. Like you could set up the infinite combo with like, well, not infinite combo with sports, but the usual calibration testing, Baker Bay, or team sponsorships, and then start the tournament like fully operational and game changer, and could happen. I don't like how it's playing out right now. Wouldn't have my hopes up to turn 5, but anything could happen.
Of course, I'm being. Of course,
has a bunch of bypass events. If I like, at least inside jobs I saw. Only inside jobs though.
Yeah.
So that could help steal an agenda here and there.
There's this brilliant bypass event which is called Diversion of Funds. It allows you to bypass the corp's money and.
Well, yeah, it's interesting when you Asa is on 2 credits right now. So you want to have them have enough money to res HQ and then still have the money left over to be diversioned. So I don't think a doof will come quite soon unless there's something to break gatekeeper and go into the remote.
Yep.
Interesting enough, server 1 is not a Rashida because it would have been rezzed. Jessica in the chat pointing out correctly, if Gatekeeper was res, there might have not been agendas left in HQ. There's point in leaving a couple there. Like you could leave Hyperloop there just to get some credits.
Yep.
Vecron probably not. You might want to keep Vitruvius if you want to score it soonish, but this is not the scoring board state.
Here we go, Drafter. And it fires.
The value, the end of turn discard is getting back to HQ. All that value. Do you remember the NBNID? The world is yours.
The NBNID world is yeah. I vaguely remember that it had the little asterisk, right? And it said like something conditions. Yeah.
The ability was like you have one more hand size, which is basically where we're at. Only the drafter to accomplish that.
Oh boy.
Ooh, that sweet Asa value.
Yeah.
Honestly, credits though.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this is the part where you can have the best combo ever, but if you don't have the money to pull it off, and you do need some money, and this is the base of the foundation of my claim that turn 5 this is gonna be done. Look, break your bait, done. Yeah.
That team sponsorship. Okay, so I'm not sure about that install. I think it was a bit too cheeky. But also, it might have been worth resing the Baker Bay and the team sponsorship because why not? Because then if they don't trash, you res it for free. They just res the Baker Bay. But yeah, I think it was pretty obvious that Shorty's going to trash the team sponsorship. You always got to trash the team. Like whenever you trash the team sponsorship, you do it.
Yep. Rizeki hitting the table. That card that should be banned, of course.
Hashtag ban Rizeki. I never imagined that would actually be a thing, but apparently there's a lot of hate for Rizeki.
It's a beautiful card, great art, like green, my favorite color. I love the art. Have I already mentioned the art is really cool? And the name is cool. It just does everything it should. I don't know. Well,
yeah.
Cannot make everybody happy, I guess.
Well, I get that, it's basically unconditional drip economy that's like infinite. So I do get the issues with it. Okay, so we see a wild level clearance, so they is getting money.
Ooh.
A bit.
A lot of goodies in the bin already. One Arella.
Yeah. One Arella, 2 VLCs, 1 Rashida.
Yep.
1 team sponsorship as well, that's pretty done. In HQ. Okay. But I imagine that would be used for like fully operational or something.
We're going wide here, and we have a fully operational indeed.
And that's why we play Asa. The reason to play Asa is to play fully operational. Oof, the draws. Not sure if we play the combo version that had Cybernetics Court in it. I miss having Cybernetics Court because then you can just draw a stupid number of cards and not have to care.
I'm wondering if Faye is drawing into the required cards to pull things off by turn what? This is turn 5. Okay, sorry. Maybe my forecast was no, of course I wanted to be kind of a bit jocular about it, and that's exactly what I did. But yeah.
I like how polite Faye is asking if they can have a action before the first click.
Yeah.
Not showcasing the usual, demeanor of corporations where they dictate rather than ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So we see us like making remotes coming into money.
Yep.
We do know about 1 archive memories, so I could imagine archive memories into full operation happening soonish. Kentama kind of slowed down a bit. So, Katie hitting the board, Rozeki hitting the board, kind of amassing the slow econ.
Yep.
This point, he will need breakers. So what are your guesses on the remotes, Vesper?
What could be on the remotes? They're very good questions because there's quite a few things you can have on the remotes. You have, of course, you can have advanced assembly lines, you have Rashidas, you can have Teamspos. There's the Rashida. I think Server 5 is another Teamspo. Or, I mean, there's a ton of other things, of course. Could be a calibration testings would probably go somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe it's a breaker bay grid to facilitate a scoring server there. I don't know. Anybody's guess. This is so horizontal.
Yeah, it could be anything. So server 1 wasn't used, team sponsorship wasn't installed there. So my guess is server 1 is potentially an agenda. Yeah, server 5 could be team sponsorship. I think that's realistic. Or it could be another agenda. Like with ASA, a lot of times you put down agendas because you need you need remotes for it. So the tricky thing against ASA is to figuring out which the agenda remotes are.
Yep.
And then deciding if you want to steal the agendas or do you want to trash the assets. Because both are valid lines depending on the game state. The usual problem with against ASA is if you steal the agendas but don't win, and then they start with a game changer,
yep,
you can put yourself in a very bad spot. Okay, Corroder into Bravado. I wonder where is that the vanilla?
Well, that is a Hagen, which is totally breakable by the Corroder, but it's going to be a bit taxing.
Yeah, it's a bit taxing, but it's breakable. It was the right guess. So let's see what server 5 is actually.
That was Teamspo.
You guessed right.
Yeah, what did I win?
You win 2 team sponsorships in the bin.
I actually threw my trash out today, so I don't have anything. Oh, there we go. That's an agenda.
For a team sponsorship, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Hyperloop there. Not usually the one you want to score, but gives money. And I imagine team sponsorship getting another team sponsorship just to be very annoying.
Yeah. And Hyperloop, yeah, Hyperloop. I think it's a very good example of a 3-1 that just kind of works.
Yeah, Hyperloop is good because you're kind of happy when they steal it. And you're not sad when it's like you don't really lose tempo, you just lose a turn for it. So it's something you're never unhappy to score it, right?
Exactly.
Also has a super name, Hyperloop.
Hyperloop extension, indeed. I mean,
Hyper.
This is
okay,
clearly
unseen card.
Yep.
Interesting. So I wonder what that card is, and why not going for a team sponsorship? I guess I don't know which ice are there. Maybe the servers are more porous to order, I would imagine. Yeah. Both players have a long way to go to get to 7 points.
Here we go. This is the bypass tech I mentioned earlier, division of funds.
Yeah. Boomerang and both inside job and deck. Boomerang is a very, very good and easy way to bypass ice.
Yep. Server 6, what are you hiding? Tell us. That is to be expected and absolutely not rude, but terribly efficient.
Yeah, gatekeeper on drawing cards. Faye will have 2 credits to use it, so maybe there's a Rashida behind it. But he will have to do something with the tons of cards in his hand next turn, and he doesn't have a lot of credits to do that. So
I have a very
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just relaying the events.
Okay. Now I was just going to have a very serious question to people in the chat. How many cards in Netrunner have flavor text that refers to fruit other than Gatekeeper? Because we have Banana Who here on Gatekeeper, which is of course the best banana flavored text of the flavor type in Netrunner so far. But how many other fruit pieces or types can you find in flavor text of Netrunner cards? Please send your answer to somebody who cares. No, I'm kidding. Of course I care. But I have no idea. I have no idea what the answer is. That's why I'm asking. People in the chat know everything about everything. Tell us now. Tell us now. We want to know.
So I'm not sure about the cultural reference of Gatekeeper, but the image is very menacing, and the reference to the banana is very when juvenile. So I don't get the connection between the two.
I don't know, like I assume it might be coming from the Anglo-Saxon culture where there's like a puzzle you have to solve and the question is, the answer is I don't know. It might be something from culture. I don't know. That's why I'm asking as well. Like this is the second question for the people in the chat. What's the reference
Yeah,
from?
but can you imagine? You look at this menacing door, virtual gatekeeper, right? You knock on it, and it asks with like a growling voice. Okay? Like it doesn't resonate, but it's probably come again. I'm not doing the voice again. Yeah, it's being checked. Fair on free credits, not much tech. Well, basically, aside Hagen Holder Ice Cream, there's another drafter.
Yeah. Running out of
Are we getting,
drafters this deck, but
are we getting
those.
back fully operational? It would be nice
Yeah.
to get back. Yes, fully operational coming back.
This Bravado is not really a lot of value, is it? But then again, against Asa, you cannot really expect Bravado to be a lot of value. I mean, it does give you some credits, and of course with Ken, Tenma's ability, and so on and so forth. But still, it's like I always remember seeing Bravado played against like a 4 iced server or something like that. Like, yeah, this is a lot, or like it's worth it. Whereas this is more like, yeah, okay, this is a economy class Bravado. Mega
Well, yeah.
pre-qualifier.
So the thing with Bravado is that, like I mentioned, this is a very tempo based matchup because Asa is using click compression to build out a lot of remotes and puts you in a spot where you have to check the remotes, put pressure on the essentials, and also not lose while doing so. So
Yep.
Bravado helps in that it checks the server, but also gives you money while doing so because you need money to trash the assets and you need money to like build your board in some shape.
Yep.
So Bravado might not give you tons of credits over the base one, but it compresses your clicks, gives you tempo, and that's what exactly you need in this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have Anarcho Mushroom in the chat saying we have 7 food flavor text. Okay, well that was a lot of quick research. We have no prizes to award for this. We're gonna use 7 as the reference number now.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna take their word for this. I do wonder if there's any flavor text with pineapples in it.
yeah. Oh, well, I think that's PSK's prediction 12. I think there's 12 food related flavor text with pineapple and 7 in general. Because I mean, pineapple is a separate food category, basically. Goes really well with chicken on pizza. I hear. I don't know. Like some people would probably argue,
Yes,
but
I'm a big pineapple on pizza fan.
there we
So we
go.
see fully operational to get back credits. So Faye is back on 10 credits, which is like again combo territory. Although sure they only stole 2 agendas, so that's not really the game changer age you want to be at. But there's still time to combo out.
In the meantime, I'm clicking around here because we are in different places doing different things. But okay, we're in the virtual cyberspaces. Not. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna fill some space here while players are trying to figure out what to do. There's a falsified guessing agenda and exposing a breaker break grid in server 7, so no money, no dice. But we have some interesting facts to share about Bavarian Beer and Bretzel Brigade. They're all from the same meta in Rosenheim, south of Munich, so southern Germany. But none of the people on the team is from Rosenheim itself, and they're heading from totally different places from all directions to meet at Rosenheim. So that's an interesting, fact and dedication, and also allows the corps to track them and trace them easier. Rosenheim, that's probably some traces running already. We're going to be mentioning some other facts about different players here as well later on. But remember, Rosenheim just got put on the map here, live and direct. If you live in Rosenheim and you're like the mayor, or and if you want to sponsor us, let us know. Very eager to do some more name calling. I mean, shout outs. I mean, calibration testing, and that's gonna be a Regenda in server 6, I would assume.
Yeah, I assume as well, and I pretty much imagine it being Vitruvius. Ooh, interesting. So it might not be scored this turn. Wow, could be a. Okay, no, it was. I was like, it could be a Vectron, but that install Asa install was just for pure value right there.
Ken definitely missing the breakers here. I think that's why we see Shorty digging. in the deck for more options, because that single corroder, yeah, okay, it can break certain things, but we only have a Hagen on server 5, which is not being used much. Server 6 is pretty solid.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rizeki, that's a breaker.
yeah, surely taking time installing stuff. To be fair, Faye is on only 3 points. All 3 team sponsorships are trashed.
Yep.
Calibration testing has been used, so I think Faye is on like the normal, fast advance one agenda at a time kind of plan. He only has 3 Vitruviuses left to work with, though. That is less than ideal. I guess you can score if you already have a what's it called? You only have calibration testing installed, and you have 2 in hand. I guess you can still score a Vecron in some way.
Yep.
I guess, but it's not easy. And the longer the game goes, the less likely you are to actually do that. Without a game changer. Of course, the good thing about game changer is if you're on a back foot, but you can't get like 6 clicks with it, you can still probably win the game.
Yeah, and a crucial point to mention here as well is that R&D is only 11 cards deep at this stage, so there is a bit of a timer running on the court. I mean, there's not too much pressure. There's still like plenty of time, especially if they don't draw into any extra cards. But it's there.
Yeah, one hand you don't want to deck out. On the other hand, a lot of times if you draw your whole deck, you find all the pieces you need to combo out, which again will be very difficult here without team sponsorships going.
Yep.
Sorry, asking if there any other action. No ice being installed with advanced assembly lines. Players being very polite because this is Netrunner and we're all very polite and wholesome people.
Well, I can be very impolite, but not during the game. We have a boomerang and legwork. Ooh, spicy. I mean,
yeah,
criminal. But...
sure, drawing the conclusion that there has to be things in HQ because, like you mentioned, there's only 11 cards left in R&D, and unless all the remotes are agendas, game changer. It's a nice find and nice trash.
And a Vitruvius.
That's also a very nice find. And Archive Memories was the first one. Like Archive Memories can get back game changer. To be quite honest, a lot of times when I'm playing Asa, I ditch game changer by default because I assume at some point they'll trash it anyway, and then just wait for the Archive Memories to get it back. So that game changer can come back, but that reach review still is very relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Faye will have to do some calculation here right now. That game changer's value right now is at 3 clicks extra, so of course that can be translated into certain actions on the board. Still 11 cards in R&D, so now 10, excuse me. But yeah, that's plenty of fuel to still pull it off, especially if you know that you have a game changer in the bin and you have an Archive Memories that we've seen before being accessed in the hand. I don't think it was used yet.
Yeah. So game changer only getting plus 2 clicks right now doesn't do actually much. It can score a Vecron from the board, and I imagine that will happen eventually. So server 1 was the other Vitruvius.
That was nice. I mean, that gatekeeper did a lot of hard banana work, like asking about all those bananas and just making sure that the runner cannot really do anything against the 0 strength ice. Well,
yeah,
very unlucky for Shorty here.
Gatekeeper taking bananas and taking names right now. Yeah. Faye is on 5 points. So a combination of game change and Vitruvius could mean game over. And even if he plays Archive Memories for game changer click 1 and then plays game changer, he can still score Vitruvius from hand. So I could see that happen, to be honest. Just need there's no Mega Priest left, so there's no third Mega Priest. So it's basically Vitruvius or bust in terms of fast events right now.
Funds will be diverted again.
Yeah, doof is happening.
Yeah.
It's a timely doof because with 9 credits, fake and fast events.
Yep. Ooh, Animakers. This is very sweet.
I'm getting 2015 Kate vibes in terms of makers and R&D. Trashing collaboration testing. It's a good call because that can also fast events if you choose.
Ooh.
And another game changer. All right.
I was kind of expecting Shorty to hit an agenda here, statistically speaking, if it's just a Vacheron, but that didn't happen. So where are the Vacherons?
Oh, great. Shorty asking GG, assuming one of the servers is an agenda. 5 credits is not a lot to GG out of. At this point, Faye might have deferred fully operational. So that could be fully operational into game changer into somehow scoring out, I guess. I think we're going to see the classical, let's think a bit with Asa if I can win somehow this turn situation. And seems, going down to 3 cards in R&D.
Yeah. So
let's hope not all of them are trashable or stealable.
Yeah, I assume that the bottom 3 cards in R&D are Vacherons, basically. That's that's what's going on here.
Imagine if Canvent, by any means, Maker's Eye.
Ooh.
Right? It would be hilarious.
That would be the play of the day so far, and probably until the end of the evening. But oh, there we go. That's an inside job on server 3.
Yep. Shorty is checking the remotes, respecting.
And that is a Vacheron, and they are.
Well, that doesn't do much aside fueling game changers right now, so.
Yeah, that is the sad part. And the 9 credits in Face Bank. That's gonna be tough. 1 click left for Shorty to decide what's gonna happen next year.
So we know server 8 is an Orella. So the question is, what is server 7? So 4 extra credits from game changer now. So if I count correctly, if server 7 is a Vacheron, Archive is into game changer, advancing that. Well, it's 11 credits, so that couldn't win the game because you need 11 credits to do that.
We have 2 game changers in the bin, and these are all the game changers that are in the game, by the way. So we have perfect knowledge of where the game changers are. They're all in the bin.
Yeah, there's not much left in R&D, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And the deck usually only plays 1 Archive Memories, and I assume this as well. Yep. So no classic double Archive Memories, double game changer shenanigans.
So I guess this is all about now. Ooh, CyberX. Okay, fair enough. Nothing bad happens, but that's kind of thinning the R&D out. The other hand, you don't really care about R&D because you're kind of a game point with those game changers, with the money you have, and with all the 4 agendas on the runner side. Where's the winning Vitruvius? Indeed.
I think there's the winning Vitruvius.
It is indeed. And after 28 minutes of solid back and forth, a very nice, very kind of exemplary game on both sides, I would say. Both players doing their best to try and beat their opponent. And we have Faye with 1 card left in the deck, in R&D, excuse me, winning this. Congratulations, Faye. We're moving on. And, well, now I'm just going to do the magics that I usually do that might be a bit annoying, but I'm just going to let people know that we are watching Fite Club, and this is Bavarian Beer vs. Brigade fighting with Fear the Masses. We just had the first game being, of course, you've seen it here live and direct, Shorty versus Faye, and Shorty got eliminated, which means I have to do my little magic graphics tricks in the background. In the meantime, you can totally I don't know, tell us something interesting about the teams or your perception of the game. I'm gonna log off for a minute.
Sure. So I think this it finished on turn 14, which is a bit more than the anticipated 5, but
come on,
it's still reasonable. I think the game was interesting. It was a back and forth. Shorty found the team sponsorships early on, and that kind of contained Asa's ability to go nuts. Faye did score out, and I think the dupes were also well timed because I imagine there were a couple of turns when if Faye wasn't duped, he could have just scored out with like a Arthur Henry's game changer combination. So I think those were well timed, and I think Shorty needed a couple of points. I'm not sure how the leg, like when the legworks happened, you know, what the agency was in HQ, for example, or if there was anything being able to be stolen in HQ right now. But yeah, shortly, dug for the breakers, did not really find the breakers, and you know, lost tempo. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna use the tempo a lot in this scenario. It's a heavy tempo based matchup, and I think it was very visible that, you know, drawing breakers loses you tempo, and that's matchup kind of. There's one special order in deck, and there's only one of each breaker.
Yeah, we have in the meantime, in case you're wondering what's happening behind the scenes, we have PSK setting things up with the team captains and whatnot, because now we will have to have another player stepping in for Bavarian Beer and Bretzel Brigade. We're gonna have Hermes going in, or Hermes going in versus Faye, and we're gonna learn in a second who's gonna be playing what, because now the choices are, of course, on the defeated team side so far, so they can change the setup, change the pairing, or they can keep going with it. We'll see in a second. Are you going to be creating a team at some point as well, Peter, or not really? And are you going to be joining? I actually haven't checked. Are you in one of the teams already? Oh, you are.
I'm not in any of the teams.
Ah, okay. You should be joining. Okay, perfect. I'm just getting some confirmations here of what's going on. And the players are preparing. Yeah, I got it all sorted. I'm just going to do my graphic shticks again. So I'll be back in a second. And over to you again. Like, I don't know, feel free to own the whole stream. And chat, by the way, keep Peter busy. Keep Peter, you know, keep Peter here earning the money he's getting paid for this somehow, or, you know.
Yeah, I'm being paid in pineapples on pizzas, so, you know, make me work for it. But so Hermes will be Corping, and let me check. He is on Saraswati. Okay. Well, that's one deck I have zero concept over how that works. Has border controls and has no usual recursion, so it's not really tiny. It has Nisei Mark IIs. Okay, so it seems to be like a Polana deck out of Saraswati. Interesting concept. And it will be up against Phase Haley, which I would imagine is the usual suspect Haley. It has Claw, has Imp, has Coder, one Stay Mac, Hunting Grounds, not sure if Hunting Grounds will be relevant, and Stargate for multi-access, and Triple Harbinger. So yeah, this is post-cash rotation, of course. We all miss cash.
You mean cash as in money, or cash as in the card?
Both Vesper, we
Yeah,
all miss.
let's be honest. Yeah, we're in a tough spot here. This is the new, what you call it, the new meta for the global economy.
Yes.
I'm gonna be jumping in the game in a sec. I just have to again do my lovely magiques that people are always wondering, like, why is he even doing this? Like, what's going on here? But worry not.
You don't comment those, Vesper. We know you have to do the works.
Of course.
You're putting in the hours. You're a good working man on the stream.
Absolutely.
Updating the graphics.
I'm
updating
absolutely.
You have excellent graphics, and you're updating these excellent graphics. So
the graphics are absolutely excellent. It took a team of qualified researchers approximately 5 years to develop them. So I'm going to pull it up right now on the screen. We have Hermes on Saraswati Mnemonics again, game 2 versus Faye. This is the second round of the second episode of the second season of Fite Club. This is a 222. Whoop. Okay, we're going to go into the game as soon as we can. I can probably, hopefully, maybe perhaps log in here. Things keep popping up, of course, because why not? Let's take a quick look. For those who were not here for the first game of the season, for the first episode, Hermes was the person that eliminated, and this was a very similar scenario. We had a first game, where the Bavarian Beer and Bretzel Brigade. What am I even talking about? Where they lost a player and then Hermes just stepped in and cleared the field with a smoke. Now it's the Saraswati, and I think this is the first time we're actually getting to see uh, Hermes' Saraswati in this tournament, in this series. That is very true.
Yes,
I'm getting a thumbs up. Yes, sorry. Yep.
No. So I want to point out that I'm just noticing that the Harasmati deck list's name is Palaswati, which kind of foreshadows what it's trying to do. It does run Kyobu Precog Manifold side game lockdown.
Yep. An interesting
But
concept.
seeing how much of an impact that makes. Usual pleasantries at the beginning of the game.
Yep. And here we go. Off to the races. Oh, that was a very unconventional start by the Corp here. I have never seen this play before in my life.
I actually think I saw a T-shirt once that said "Ice Ice Hedge Fund." So this is so classic that it's on a T-shirt.
I actually have a tattoo on my left palm, so I can always look at what to play first as the Corp. But well, anyway, please don't check it. By the way, anybody who meets me in the future, please don't check that tattoo. It does exist, but never mind. I think this joke was so bad that actually I made Mar leave the room. She's just gonna go and shout in a separate space because we're sharing the space today as well. And by the way, I should totally bring this up as well while I remember. Please, after the tournament, we will have, of course, a brief chat with the team members willing to do so, if any. But there will be also some updates about the future of the series because there has been some discussing, there has been some decision making. So if you're interested in how Fite Club is going to be shaping up in the future, please do stick around or watch it later on, of course, on demand and whatnot. But yeah, there will be some updates at the end of the stream. Okay, so here we go. Look, 3 Shaper cards. So that's like, imagine if Slot Machine actually did not care about the type of cards, it just looked at the faction.
And it would work with installed cards, eh?
Oh, well, no, that would be a bit too much. But like, I don't know. Then probably certain decks like, I mean, the mini factions would probably, although then again, not really, because they do have quite a few cards in faction as well. I don't know.
Ooh, net shit. So we see a kind of classic building process of Haley. ASOS was down turn 1 with the misdirection. Of course, that was only installed to be, Soul Ace-ups and then Poku coming down turn 2. Usual setup turns. Hermes is pushing something in server 1. Could be a Rashida, could be a Batty, could also be a Valley Grid, which is the cheeky choice of card in this deck. Have to be what it does, actually. Okay, it reduces maximum hand size. That is very interesting.
And we have the Rashida indeed popping in.
Yep, Rashida. I would imagine this is a very good point in time to try to score something in server 1.
Yep, so much money with the runner being relatively poor still and not really set up for any runs much other than face checks.
That is true, but the runner is one stim hack away from wrecking havoc. So we see border control, Eli, Haibu Precog Manifold, and HQ, which are more relevant piece of the information. Not sure how I like Eli in this meta. Vesper, have you tried out playing 2015 in the past couple of weeks?
No, I've seen, honestly, I was talking about it yesterday during the stream. So yesterday I tried for the first time ever the standard ban list. I was like, well, okay, let's get used to this. But the 2015 meta, I've seen decks. I know that Swifty has a deck list of the week on Netrunner DB. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is so cool in a way. But then again, 2015, I was really, like, right now I'm not stellar, but back in the day, I was really bad at this game. So it would be a good idea to revisit this and kind of with my experience and with my immense knowledge on the subject now, participate in any games of that particular flavor of Netrunner. And yeah, maybe there will be some more events, right? Like.
So I just brought it up because Eli was a very prominent piece of ice back in 2015, and I think it was way better back then than it's right now.
Yeah.
But also 24 credits on Hermes' side and 7 pieces sold. Those servers are iced healthy. Problem is, Faye already has Cyber Trooper Talut, SMC on board, Palangi on board. So, Haibu Pickup playing played. So if this is an Nisei score, then
That could be big.
that could be big. Yeah, the server has 3 pieces of ice, Palangi has once per turn. There's only one SMC out. Faye does have a billion credits. Well, 17, but
That's around a billion. I think it's like you count up to 15, and then anything above 15 is a billion, basically.
yeah, especially like there are these cyber troopers where you install an order and then you break stuff for free. So like once you get into that position, you are very very efficient at running. So I could see Faye considering running the remote 4 times.
Yeah, the question here is exactly like of course, hero precog manifold is one challenge in a way, but with the Palangi and with the SMC, like, I mean, what are the odds that server 1 is protected by 3 completely different types of ice? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, 3 pieces of ice are not impossible to get through, but like one SMC is kind of stretching it.
Especially since we know the list, and I mean, this is running only 3 sentries, and the rest are mostly code gates and barriers, so you could potentially bet that, well, we're not going to see that, but yeah, that's okay. That's an Nisei Mark II, and there's a Stargate entering the ring.
Yep.
The card I wish I could see on the ban list, but no, I'm kidding. But
I very much imagine that Stargate being used immediately. Ooh, stim hack.
Mm.
On our cards? Okay, just for SMC value. Just to get out breakers. Which is a very interesting thing to do, but I can respect it.
There's still some damage happening. Okay, well, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Okay.
That was pure stim hack value.
I think this was totally worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 card in hand, so the 0 MU left, so Cortex luck is not surprising anyone.
Yeah.
And that's the only sentry, as you mentioned. But like instant Noctec, even just to not have to break Cortex luck is very useful.
Exactly. We have 2 Eli, so this is the most taxing situation here. Although the Cyber Trooper Talut is, of course, pumping the corroder.
Rashida, Cortex, Rashida. So you could. Okay, so Rashidas are capped. So I would have imagined you could have gone back for 10 more credits to Chesbo for Shidas. Not sure how much that helps though. Phase rig is pretty much built up though. Problem with Order is it's not very efficient once it's been used.
Yep.
Server 1 card being installed in server 1. And I pretty much imagine the game being played around the remote most of the time, because Hermes is trying to score agendas, and then Faye will have to contest them. Server 1 is not agenda, most probably because it's not advanced, and there's no agendas in Hermes' deck that can be never advanced.
True, yeah. We have a corporate sales team, we have 3 global foods, 3 Niseis, and 1 future perfect. So, most likely a Rashida.
Triple Eli. Wow.
That's basically triplets. Like, this is basically like a big family of Eli's going on a walk, or sitting in front of the R&D just playing around and waiting for a pesky runner to come over and entertain them using clicks, unless you pay. This is kind of a terrible thing though. I only thought about it right now. You have a kid that you can either talk to, because this is the idea behind Bioroids. You can just kind of talk through them, spend time with them in a way, and just talk through them to the server, or you can pay them. Oh no, sorry, you're paying for the icebreaker. Never mind, because I was like, okay, you're basically giving a kid entertainment or money to bugger off. But no. Wrong, stupid Vesper. I'm gonna shut up now. You're paying, of course, for the icebreaker, of course.
It's not that dystopian.
Yeah, no, it's like, here, kid, have some credits. Go away, leave me be.
So Faye, realizing that he doesn't have to steal Nisei right now, because there's no recursion in Hermes' deck, so that Nisei is safe in archives. Unless archives ice, but there's not many ice Faye can break. 2 installs. One of them could be agenda, I guess, but it's not advanced, so it takes at least 2 turns to score.
Yeah.
Yeah, R&D costs a whopping 12 credits, I think. Yep. So, that Stargate won't happen every turn, but I imagine we'll see a Stargate every second turn. Palangi being installed, hosted on that chip. Look at that net chip value.
Yeah, no, net chips, I loved seeing the card, and I never had a good idea what to do with them, but this deck is just totally using them the right way. Not too many,
Yeah.
but just enough.
What do you think is the correct number of net chips?
6.
6.
I mean, in a deck with Aesops, 6.
All right, you're a 6 net chip kind of guy. I can respect that. I think it's less, but I know everyone has strong opinions on like how many net chips are the correct number of net chips.
Do you remember me telling you that you're way better at this game when you look at the like kind of the experience we both have in a way? So yeah, like I no, of course. I mean, for me, any card that says 6 off should be 6 off. Like that's it. It's a limit. You just go full hog on it. Just take it. They printed it, right? So there are 6 copies. What are you gonna do with the other 4? Let's say
Well, you're never running 2, right? I think you're at least running. Times you're running 4 just to get, because you want to see a couple early on, because Shaper is very, very hungry for memory.
Yep.
But also, like, I can be more lucky at this game than you. That doesn't mean playing 6 net chips is not the correct choice. So we see a Stargate happening. Will cost 12 open credits. There's also something advanced in the remote, but Faye is making the choice of not bothering with remote, which I can respect because it's probably very expensive to get in, and it probably has a border control on there. We did see a border control on one of the 70 gifts, so that's probably on the remote.
those Eli's are really pesky here.
Yeah. So Harame is proving the opposite of the point I was saying, that Eli's were way better in 2015 than they are now. If you stack them, you can't really click through.
Yeah.
Food Hatch IPO, I imagine that food being taken. There's 4 points in archives right now.
Yeah. Not looking good for Hermes here. Not looking good.
Yeah, although you do have to realize, like, Hermes scores a 3-pointer now, and then he only has to push a 2-pointer. And, if he has one HQ, that could work out. Another food.
There we go.
All right.
I guess a lot depends on if there's going to be a Stargate this turn, which I can totally see happening. What this Stargate is going to hit. That's going to be the big question.
Well, the thing is, there's one known card in the Stargate, which was, I think, the IPO. Yeah, quick check on archives. See what the last ditch card was. I imagine this means there's not going to be a Stargate this turn, because otherwise, this was a waste of click.
Yeah.
So I think Hermes realizes that, yep, going for HQ is a good point. He has to check, because the remote will be very annoying. IK is cheap to res, expensive to break in this scenario.
True. Euler has to do a bit of lifting, although I don't know. You can always just turn it into. Oh no, Belangi was already used. Sorry, so you can't really.
To be fair, you can only spend 2 credits on it.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. Not sure you want to, but you could. But yeah, Faye will gain a couple of credits at the beginning next turn, so he can splurge on checking HQ.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Faye just wants to make sure that nothing gets pushed next turn in the remote. Although Hermes is on 8 credits, so that's not a lot of credits to score and res ice. Double Ike, so cheap to res. Side game 0-0. No one is trying to do value 1 credit, draw 2 cards.
I was playing. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I was just saying it's the hedge fund we saw on Stargate, so no new information coming for HQ. Yeah, now the question: what's going to happen in the remote? Hermes is drawing cards, so I don't imagine he might have agendas in hand. I guess he's just trying to draw something that gives him money.
I'm just wondering, what could that thing in the remote be? And I guess a Marcus Batty. That's
Could be a
probably
Marcus
it.
Bay.
Yeah.
Could be also one of the Valley grids, which I'm not sure what purpose they're trying to serve. What could be.
I guess there might be some sort of a kill with no, actually, no. Well, maybe it's sort of a Marcus Batty Valley Grid Cortex lock kill, but that's probably off the table.
Could be, I guess, reminiscent of the good old M. You ever had the luck to install, like, put a naked Marcus Betty out. They run the Marcus Betty. You empty out a Cortex lock. They can't break it, and then you Marcus Betty the Cortex lock and kill them. I did that once. It's so good. It's one of the best feelings.
Chef's kiss. Oh.
Ooh, okay. That value Palangi right there. Value Palangi for breaking an Eli.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Hermes at all. I think this is an important thing here. Fear the Masses has seen Hermes' smoke in action, and this was a very interesting call here. But yeah, to have Hermes play Saraswati, we'll see. I would say there's gonna be a 2-pointer. Oh no, okay, that's an easy. Ooh, okay, yeah, I wasn't expecting this basically. But yeah, that's a solid play.
Denied. Well, if I'm the runner, I'm being denied this opportunity. This could kind of mean that Hermes is trying to push an agenda next turn. And this also means border control is under the remote, and he believes that will be enough to protect the server. So I think this is one scenario that you get into a lot of times in this game, is where you have to decide on, do you want to not lose, or do you want to push for the win? I think that Nisei token would have definitely helped score out the final agenda.
Yeah.
But Hermes opted for going with the route of not losing, which is also, totally respectable, because now, okay, so remote is pretty much safe.
Could be game.
Could be game, but there's still a Stargate that can happen.
Absolutely.
So, that could also. Well, I think there's one single future perfect in the deck. Could also happen that Faye sees 2 agendas on R&D when the Stargate run and can somehow get in. Not sure if this is already used, so you can't use them hack anymore. There could be a compile, I guess. We'll see what happens. I would imagine you could also sell the order right now and then have a very efficient Palangi based. Or you could sell Corroder, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
up, and then
that would be
install a symbol chip and then do a Stargate for 6.
Yeah, getting that Corroder out and then simul chipping it to get it diluted or Cyber Troopered, that would be quite a play, yeah. So many combos.
Yeah, so the remote is pretty much off the table at this point, unless you are very good at side games.
Well, we've seen the fate of many a thing decided through side games in this game. So, and I mean, of course, all of Netrunner's history, not this particular one match here. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, what are your general, like, if you don't want to reveal the world that how your Yomi works, you don't have to. What are your general concepts in terms of what are your go-to, fundamentals that you always stick to when it's important?
Going for the remote. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Going for remote. That's a ballsy play. There's no Palangi out, so I imagine there's at least one order or Palangi in HQ.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna see some hot Palangi action. Hermes on 11 credits. That is pretty relevant because he will need 3 credits to actually score out. So he has 8 credits to res ice with. Border control is 4 credits. So he has basically 4 credits left to res anything else. And that's not a lot of credits to res something. So Faye could actually go back a bunch of times.
Yeah. There was a bit of math happening here, and yeah, now we will see the result of this math, because Hermes already has to think, which is not a spot you want to be in as the corp, especially with the runner having credit advantage and still 3 clicks to go. and options on the table, and now you have to decide which one of these 4 pieces of ice is gonna go up, because the Nisei counter is gone. So yeah, there has to be, well, actually, sorry, I nearly forgot, there are 3 border controls in this deck, and we haven't seen a single one just yet, I think.
Well, not reds, but if you remember, we saw one on the celebrity gift early on. So I'm pretty sure that one of the ice on the remote is a border control.
Very true.
So I think that will happen. But yeah, so one thing that you also learn if you play 2015, which I will keep urging you because it's a very fun format.
Yep.
We still have copies Nisei back in the day, and the thing with copies Nisei is that side games do cost credit.
Yep.
So you know, Hermes has to be very conscious of his credit pool, because I could imagine Faye just running the remote if it's, you know, very efficient to get in, so that just make Hermes spend money. Because if Hermes doesn't actually score out the agenda this turn, Valley Grid. Okay, so we do see Valley Grid. Still not sure. Oh, I guess. Ooh, so if you reduce the hand size up to, like, onto -1, the runner actually dies, right?
I think I don't know. Honestly, that's a good question, and I have, the only reason why I don't know is that that situation has never, ever, ever, ever happened to me in any game or
So
tournament.
I think it's a very interesting scenario, because so if you break 6 pieces of ice, which won't happen on this run, I think, I would imagine, but if Faye were to break 6 pieces of ice while Very Good was rezzed, he would go to -1 hand size, and I'm pretty sure if you have -1 hand size, you're just dead.
Oh, Faye is gonna have a stupid question. So there are no stupid questions, of course. There are just questions we don't know the answers for. Oh, there you go. Well, we have the TO here, and the TO has to, I don't know. Well, you lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's -1 hand size is dead. Which is a very, like, one of the harsh lessons of life when you face check a brainstorm on 6 cards is that you die at the end of that turn.
Yeah. But the thing is, okay, so we know for a fact that server 1 is an agenda, because it can be any, oh, it could be an NGO. I keep forgetting there are NGOs in this deck. Plus, I mean, there's a Hyobu. Okay, so oh. And by the way, like, for everybody watching this and going like, okay, well, you know, this is 2020. This game has been out for like what, 7 years now in its current shape, state, or form, 7 plus. And we still have interactions and questions about a lot of stuff, even like kind of, you could say, the fundamentals, or, you know, how does hand size work, because it's just such a rich and interesting game. So that's the thing.
Yeah, and so, and a lot of the early rules were defined on the Twitter account of the lead designer. So, you know,
Exactly.
there's a lot of mess on the foundations that this game was built on.
Yep.
Okay, so Faye opting to jack out. Yeah, I think running the remote was never a good idea in the first place, but just dying would not be useful. I do have to point out that to die, you need to break 6 pieces of ice, or like the same ice 6 times. So I'm not sure if that would have happened because Hermes is on 6 credits. So I could have seen, you know, just at least breaking Thimberg because it's for free, and then continuing and seeing, you know, what else they res.
Yep.
Because then they can score out. So I think that would have been a genuinely good idea. But we'll see what happens. Cortex luck. Okay.
Oof.
Trashing the Cortex lock. Yeah, I think border control would have been a better choice, but, you know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have PSK here saying border control would probably be a better choice. Yeah. And absolutely.
Yeah. But we'll see if it matters.
Exactly.
It can also depend on like whatever is in your mode. At this point, I think you have to go for. Okay, checking archives, keeping the corp honest, and I think this is G.
Could be GG, I would assume.
Unless that's a cheeky NGO.
Well, that would,
Nope.
yeah, that would be quite a play. But no, this is the TFP for the win, the future perfect.
Ooh,
You
the
know
fifth.
what this means actually? That Hermes is unbeaten so far in this tournament. This is his fourth opponent and the fourth opponent he beats. Wow. Serious business. And a fun fact about Hermes, actually, who's going to be playing next round as well, obviously. So we have some cool stories from the BBNBB team. So they actually played as a team in January at the German Nationals team event. So that was in Nuremberg. I was there. It was awesome, and we actually did play against them in the team event as well. And despite their kind of Yankee decks, they came fifth from 25 teams, so that's not too bad. And then Hermes joined the tournament at Rosenheim for the first time ever, and he was heading there by train and needed to walk to the location, which is about a 20-minute walk. His train was a bit late, and he needed to sprint the whole way to the location just to realize that late was actually late, which is totally in line with the nickname. And the tournament started about 45 minutes later. So that's how you make friends. You just run around for Netrunner, and then some people are late, and that's it. And actually, if you're wondering, Late's nickname comes from going late to the second ever tournament at Rosenheim somewhere in 2015. So it's a long tradition to appear late or last at every tournament because of traffic jams and so on. Traffic jam, of course, used to be a card, but now it's gone. So there we go. But yeah, these are like really cool. These are really cool war stories from the BBNBB team that gets to play on with Hermes. I'm gonna jump out of this game. I'm gonna be switching screens and leaving you for a second to again run the stream, my friend.
Yeah. One point that these war stories also show is that everything is connected. The nicknames, the stories, the Netrunner cards, they all reference each other back and forth, like a very nicely put out network of runners. So we're waiting for a team to decide how to continue on. But yeah, this was I think a good game. You know, I think it was fairly close. Like that end turn was fit. I think very strong turn, but could have gone either way earlier of it. A bit more lucky Stargate access, for example. Maybe using that Nisi token on that Stargate was the winning call there, and that denied the 2 points that Faye needed to win, because he was looking for agendas this turn as well. We'll never know. So yeah.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna update the screen again so that you have a clear situation, view of the situation, excusez-moi. So both teams have lost a player, which means they still have 2 players each. We have Hermes right now, and I think they're gonna be discussing who's gonna play what in a second. I have two thumbs up, so they're going to be discussing this soon. Of course, teams are more than welcome to take a break, discuss things, make decisions, and so on. And this is serious now. We're reaching the serious stage of the tournament, of this event tonight, of this night, where both teams have to really know what to do now. Like they really have to decide. And they cannot leave it to chance, I would say. We have Late on Anarchan NBN and Hermes on Shaper and Jinteki, and Mobius on Anarchan NBN and Quarkbutter on Criminal and Jinteki. So generally, all colors theoretically represented. Mine is Wayland. Nobody's playing Wayland. What's up, people? Where's my Wayland at? Like seriously.
Titan is a good deck though, but no one wants to take the chances. They might feel more comfortable with other ones, and a lot of time Titan is more dependent on what you draw than what you do with the cards. So that could also be a reason not to play it. So I'm wondering, Vesper, if you were in the seat of the Fear the Masses team, who would you send in? Which deck would you like?
Great question. Oh, that's a great question. I'm actually taking a very, very quick look at what's still left, and they have quite a nice selection. They have a Quarkbutter Leela, basically that's it. Leela running it's actually good stuff Leela, basically, because Leela, of course, and good stuff. So then there's a PE with Biotics. Ooh, that's interesting. And Wanzas, obviously, and a ton of traps, and then Sink. Oof. I'm trying to think which one I would choose, knowing both of Hermes' decks, and right now it's still hard. What would you go for? I'm gonna think a bit more.
I would consider sending PE against Smoke, to be honest, because Smoke is a 40 card deck.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can see, has no real tech. Well, it has Film Critic, right? Film Critic does something,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no net damage prevention. There's no Claw as well, so there's no way of stopping the biotics.
Mm-hmm.
Or the shipments from tenants. So I think that would be a favorable matchup for PE.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Hoshiko or the Shiro Apocalypse or Shirocalypse, excuse me. So that's the Hoshiko Shiro that Mobius stripped is on. So I think that could have a chance against the Saraswati. Of course, it all depends. I mean, getting an Apocalypse in a crucial moment and then just stargating for the win is an option. But of course, that kind of puts the pressure on the runner to get things rolling fast, I guess, because this Saraswati, once it's set up, it was the combo with the Valley grid and the what's his name Thimble rig was quite something, I have to say. Oh, I think we have it straight from the organizers. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. You may have heard it, folks, on the stream. And Peter, if you haven't, I'm just gonna tell you in a second and confirm it that Game 3 is gonna be Quark Butter actually playing the ever scary and absolutely evil PE. So you were totally right. And Hermes is gonna be on Smoke. How did you know?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable choice to make in terms of decks.
Yeah, but are you rigging those games or something? Like, what's going on here? No, of course not. That would be well, how to put it? No, I don't think I'm gonna see this day. But when Netrunner games are gonna be rigged by anybody for any reason. Okay, I'm just trying to find a PE in my little console of wonders, just to make sure that I can actually make it happen. This is not working. Game.
Real console of wonders would be a very awesome console name, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Sorry,
go on.
So I do wonder the game is not up yet, right? So it's
yeah, they're just waiting for me being silly. So I mean,
you're not silly. All right, do your thing, and I will talk in the meantime.
No, I'm doing my thing already, and I'm almost ready to be ready. We will have light up in a second. I can hear game sounds already. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there on time.
Yeah, the game is up, so we joined it. So P being a classic P deck, having it's the one back in the day. There was a version that also had punitives in it. It was like Monza City Grid type of deck, with biotics and shipments and punitive and avocados. This one does not have punitives, has Crisium instead, which is a very good loop protection, to be honest. But yeah, also has, again, biotic and shipment is very strong in this matchup, I think. And grinding out a 40 card deck should be easier than, say, a 45 or even a 50 card deck.
I think they're remaking the tables again. Sorry.
I don't think they're.
I think there are like, okay, on my side there are like 3 games on the competitive tab that are Quark Butter started. Yes. But yeah, that's basically the situation here. But yeah, game 3 is gonna be the smoke that smoked all of the unpronounceables. How many games are we gonna have again? No, sorry, okay. And Quark Butter is gonna be on that PE. That's gonna be quite spicy.
Yeah. So the smoke deck has one very, very strong Saved Grace.
Yep.
Which is Fimkirk.
Yeah.
If Hermes can get down a Fimkirk, I think that that card will have a lot of mileage in this matchup. Starting with Obacadas or basically anything, because PE is PE. So So yeah, I think drawing that will be crucial in this matchup. I'm looking at the ice. There's one called Lindsay, which I have no idea what it does. So I'm gonna check that out. Whoa, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
We have the players discussing things with the tournament organizer, or with the event organizer, just to make sure that everything is going to be fine. I think there are some issues with the tables. Okay, so there are some issues on the. Well, I'm already showing the clock. Never mind. The clock shall be hidden. Okay, be back in a sec. Technical issues.
Yeah, I can imagine the fact that Quark.
Yeah. Sorry, you may have heard it, but yeah, we had some small technical issues. But for all those of you just joining, and hello there, Frisbee Monk and Baramu, good to see you. Fite Club Season 2, Episode 2, BBNBB versus Fear the Masses. You have all the deck lists that are public at tiny.cc/fiteclub. Javi86, also known as Faye, eliminated in the previous game, but no worries whatsoever. This was absolutely awesome and great to watch. We're trying to get into the game as created by Hermes, and there should be passwords. And of course, we have all the code gate breakers or decoders with us, so we're totally in. So much plonking. I'm apologizing. All of those of you who don't like plonking, there's a lot of plonking happening on the stream, but it's pleasant plonking. I think the JNet suite of sounds is kind of soothing and pleasing. Apart from that, very, I don't know, like there's this. I mean, I think the installation sound is kind of harsh on my ears.
Yeah, that's. A lot of times I turn on the in-game sounds on JNet. So what happens when I'm on a new device and playing JNet? The first install scares the living shit out of me. And I'm like, all right, I have to turn off the sounds. It was like, and I'm like, I forgot the sounds. But
Like,
yeah, if you don't like the plonk sound, like I always say, bim boom.
Yeah.
Game is afoot. Classic start. Hedge ice ice.
Yeah.
And then Hermes drawing cards. Doesn't care about the health points. Wrong deck. What?
Ooh, well, we have to. Is this a game loss? No, I'm kidding. Of course, we have to. Oops. Fair enough. I think we're gonna jump out of this game. Ooh, this is This is. This seems like this seems a bit like, you know, like mind games in mind games during mind games with mind games. I mean, there is a PE deck, of course, and there's a smoke deck. So there's like smoke and mirrors, mind games, shell games, everything.
I do want to point out the PE deck does not play the ice cold mind game, so that's kind of a shade on you know your concept there of mind games and mind games and mind games. If it did play mind game, it would be an amazing reference.
But wait, not playing mind games in the mind games deck, isn't that a mind game? It's a ruse.
It's a ruse. It's a ruse cruise.
Indeed.
I just realized the PE deck has a single copy of Voting Intimidation.
There you go.
Would be useful against the film critic, I guess.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm just wondering which game to join, because there's the game Squawk Buttermade that didn't work out, and there's a game by Hermes with 3 spectators.
I will have to refresh everything now, so this is going to be a bit of flopping of the screens. Apologies to everybody, but we're fine. I mean, you know, this is for fun. We're having fun. Everybody's having fun. I was just going to make a terrible joke about the scariest country in the world for runners, but I won't. Oh, nobody's biting this. Okay, nobody's going for the hook. Well,
no, I'm not getting that reference right now.
No,
the game is afoot.
Indeed, it is.
Quag Butter keeps their hand, so you know, let's hope restarting game gave him as good as a hand as he had before. Wow, clicking free credits, ditching a card.
Wait, was this? I have to scroll up. So Quark Butter kept or mulliganed? Kept.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, no, it's like what? What is going on here?
If that
Mind games.
if that card was like a breach dome, I think this is a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah.
Maybe HQ is filled with snares. We'll see in a second. Shipment from Tenon. All right, it's
Which
there
is
and turned
no
on.
longer in standard soon. If I missed that card.
So yeah, Hermes doing a run, turns off shipment from Tenon conveniently. Installs Nightmare Cure, does things. You have to point out it's already 8 cards lost out of 40 card deck, so it's 20% of the deck. Like 40 cards is not much
True.
against a grindy PE deck, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Smoke being decked.
Okay.
Katie Jones, all right, does not want to lose that. Katie Jones, steal the Sting.
Yeah, these are some very bold runs, but I think yeah, the grinding might happen indeed.
Oh, we lost the mantle. For a second I thought it was a breaker, but no, it was only a mantle. Fishing for free credits. PE doing what PE does best, not doing anything and just taking credits and just waiting for the runner to die. I don't want to put a lot of shade on PE, but I'm very happy that Google was banned. House
Okay.
it's a lot of trashes right there for 2 points.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
27 cards left in Smoke's stack. It's a Smoke stack. Wow.
Okay,
Nobody. Sorry.
Yeah.
I should totally shut up. But this is a Smoke stack. Why did nobody ever notice this before? Dedicated neural net. How many people have seen this card before? Raise your hands, please. I'm not raising mine. The first time there's a successful run on HQ, each turn you and the runners secretly play a side game. If you and the runner spend a different number of credits, you choose which cards the runner accesses from HQ for the remaining. What? I didn't know this card existed.
Me neither. If you would like this, one of those Jintech cards that has a lot of text on it.
Yeah.
If I would tell you there's a card like this,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be sure if it actually exists or not, right? Because if someone would come up to me, told me this card exists, I could see that being a thing, but I could also see you just making this up on the fly.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I would totally be like, well, I mean, this looks like one of those cards that could be, made by an AI or like a script or something, like just randomly generated. But I mean, of course, it's totally legit and it sounds okay. But I've never seen this art.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I want to say there was no run in the last turn of Hermes, and there was no score with the shipment that we know about.
Yeah.
Which means there's no agenda in HQ.
So why would you run it? Turn the 10 enough?
I would run it just to see if dedicated neural net is actually working.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a snare, of course. This is pretty much how you imagine this playing out, to be honest.
Yeah.
You lose this game, you get a snare in your face. That's basically what dedicated neural net says. Snare.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the thing. Exactly. Maybe you're just trying to get the snares out of the deck, but then again, you're at 22 cards in your smoke stack and 4 cards in hand. Anytime there's gonna be a smoke on the table, it's a smoke stack. That's it. Like, that's it. I just found a new word for Netrunner. Please don't make it a meme.
I think that makes perfect sense, Vesper. I'm totally behind that idea.
Thank you for your
ongoing support. On this turn as well from Smoke, so I imagine that shipment being
there we go. That's probably going to be a House of Knives or a Sting. It's a Sting.
It's a Sting. Oof. That was 3 damage.
Yeah, ouch. And let's take a look at the heap. Well,
none of the breakers lost, so I think that's it's a lucky thing to have. But down to 18 cards, has only a Sentry Breaker.
A lot of econ and draw out of the game here. Like, that's also
fine. You're mostly gonna keep your breakers and whatever you, unlike your film critic, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, how many copies?
The points to card lost ratio is not amazing for Smoke.
Yeah.
Ooh, Snare, Archive Memories on Snare. Oh my god.
Well, you do have the majestic dedicated neural net on there, so
that's a flex. That's a huge flex right there. I mean, this basically is saying, you'll never run HQ ever again. So I guess we're in R&D. Yes, we're in R&D.
Yeah.
Friendly reminder that Smoke plays film critic.
Yeah, we do have Film Critic on the list here, and it's only one copy of, so that's the interesting part.
Well, the good thing about losing most of your deck to net damage is you'll bound to find the Film Critic at one point because you're gonna go for your deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, Quad Butter taking the classical P turn of 3 cadets. R&D being run.
Ooh, Kakugo, which is, guess what, no longer gonna be legal and started as well. How do you feel about Kakugo going away? I kind of feel okay, but I like the card in a way, but I feel okay with it going away.
Not sure if we had this discussion before, but I have a burning passion of hating Kakugo as a card.
Okay.
So I'm very much happy that it goes away because I think
you may have brought it up, yeah.
It just gives the grinding net damage decks an inevitability. Like if you just put Kakuzo on both centrals and one on remote, the runner will eventually run out of cards, right?
Yep.
Unless they have dedicated protection against net damage, which you should not have to run. So, but even then, it's a bunch of credits. So I'm pretty much happy to see it go. I could see it being reprinted in a different shape or form in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, the effect only working on remote. You having to trash or DDoS or some kind of negative effect on it as well.
Yeah,
I could see that happening, but in its current form, I'm pretty much happy it's gone. And I think if you, dear viewers, didn't know why I'm hating Kakugo, I think you'll understand by the end of this game because I'm pretty sure it will do a bunch of net damage.
Probably. One thing about Kakugo that I find very interesting in the current situation, when we know it's going away with the standard ban list coming into effect soon, is that flavor text. The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to use them. So basically the ultimate aim of Kakugo is not having to use them. So, the aim of the Kakugo card being there is you don't have to use it, therefore you don't need it, therefore it's okay to have it on the standard ban list, and so on and so forth. The card basically kicked itself out. I'm pretty sure that's how the MWL folks work at Nisei. They just read all the flavor text and go like, okay, this card is telling us to remove it.
That's if you think about it, the art on Kakugo is a circle, right? And now we got full circle of the point of Kakugo is not being used, and now you cannot use Kakugo. So it's like it came around.
It's just kind of, that's just very true. Yeah.
So there's an install advance in the new remote, not install for free. Not sure what the meaning behind that is, but we'll be bound to find out in a bit, I guess.
In the meantime, we have Baramu in the chat saying, I have a dedicated neural net in my current RP. It basically means the runner almost never contests HQ. Yeah, we have to have a special segment of 3 hours with 17 panelists discussing this card. First of all, who made it? How was it made? Like it's 2015. It's been in the game for 5 years, and I promise I have never ever seen this card in.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. Yeah, I haven't known it existed until this point. But we're seeing mileage being used out of it because it will fire again. And the side game was lost. So if there's a snare in HQ, Hermes will hit a snare. Yes. Of course, we know about the snare. It was Archive Marie's back.
Value.
Is it the first time? Is it every time? The first time, okay. Well, so I guess Hermes could go critically back after the snare to do something. But like running HQ once per turn to get a snare in your face is not an ideal usage of running HQ, I would imagine.
And here you were complaining about Kakugo,
Well, to be honest, like I mentioned, I did not know dedicated neural net existed until I saw this game.
Same here.
So I never had the the concept of comparing them.
Imagine playing like at a big tournament with loads of people, and then you get into top cut, and then like one of the top 4 players, and you get to your opponent, and then they play RP or whatever, and then they play this agenda, and like, what? Wait, excuse me, judge, I need like 5 minutes of time to just reevaluate my whole life because I've never seen this card before.
I do want to point out the clever runs of Hermes on the remote because it's safe to run. And turns off shipment from tenant. So I do gotta give a point from that. But also to reminiscence on like having that effect on top 4, I do want to tell you that I had the experience. I played against Dan Baginio in top something in Worlds 2017, top cut, and I had dedicated processor in my deck, and we were able to check out each other's deck lists. And Dan was looking at my deck list for a bit, and he was like, at one point, goes, "What the fuck is dedicated processor again?" It's kind of the effect of if I see dedicated neural net on a card, I'm like, what is this card do?
Oh.
But yeah, we saw DNA tracker res, and stealth is pretty efficient in breaking ice, so there was not much sweat broken in breaking the DNA tracker.
Yep.
But luckily for the PE deck, doesn't have much else to do. Has to click 4 credits and wait for the smoke deck to run out. Yeah, Smoke only has 6 cards left in the smoke stack.
Yay! It's been adopted by at least one more person, which means it's legit. We have to put it into the Cambridge Dictionary of Netrunner English, and it's official now. If you're playing Smoke, it's a smoke stack. That's it, basically.
So, in the older days, the net damage PE decks were called Cambridge PE, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That's a very cool sub-reference right there.
Absolutely.
We're running HQ because,
you want a snare, right?
We can't have all the snares, right?
Well, let's see.
We'll see if they do, though.
If that, could be an avocado.
You could also do the runner a sting, for example, because that's like what, 3 net damage at this point?
Yeah. Oh, that's a Crisium grid. Ooh. Do you trash that? I guess you don't, because you don't need to. The turning wheel doesn't care about.
I don't think there's only effect in the runners that depends on successful runs. So
this is
okay. So this also tells Hermes HQ is safe to run.
Yeah.
There's new MP there. One thing I messed up a couple of times is I think Nuro needs a successful run, right?
Yeah.
No, just the run doesn't have to be successful. All right. So it can be creasing.
Just a run, yeah. That was value neural. Yeah, value neural.
We are at the point of value neurals, ladies and gentlemen. To be fair, I think value neurals also like make Hermes draw up, and then maybe they won't run, and then maybe your shipment from Tiny is turned back again. Drawing up to over maximum hand size can be kind of awkward, but I could also see if there's no net damage happening on this one, Hermes could run R&D last click, which is never a very good idea against Jinteki, but it's something you can do not to waste one of your cards.
Yeah.
Neural was also used from HQ, so there's less chance of having another Neural. That Crisium is being accessed over and over. I think we're just farming. Are we just farming turning wheel? Well, I guess first access is always the Crisium, and then you can see something else. It's the Crisium again. And then, yeah, I think at this point, Hermes is just farming turning wheel tokens, and then I guess trying to win on our indie run.
But you could theoretically just farm it safely, bouncing off Kakugo as well, right?
Yeah, but this way, you're getting a bit more information.
You could also eat a snare. No, of course I'm kidding. Like there are no more snares left, right?
Well, if there was a snare in HQ, you would get it in your face, right?
Ooh, Film Critic. This is a big play.
Film Critic.
This is a big 1 credit play.
So there's 2 things about Film Critic right now. Hermes does not want to get a tag on last click, so he won't run last clicks anymore because snare. And also Water Intimidation could lead to more interesting side games. So far, Hermes is not that good on side games. Yeah. So if that Water Intimidation gets out, could cause a bit of an issue. We'll see what happens. Penrose has a very cool art, I do have to point out in the meantime.
True. Penrose styling is quite interesting.
Have you ever played a game called Hacknet?
Oh, yes. Yes.
It has that aesthetic, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of this cyberspace made of neon and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we see a biotic happening. Quark Butter knows no risk of clop happening. So I wonder what we're going to see being scored.
Sting, I would say.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, this is spicing things up now. Yeah. That House of Knives, which some people call Zollingen. I don't know why. But basically, yeah, that's a serious thing now.
They call it what?
Zollingen, which is this German company that makes knives, apparently. I don't know. Don't
Okay,
quote me. Don't quote me on this. But yeah, but the corp is down. Quark Butter is down to 2 credits. And you know what this means? That they
well,
don't have 3. Oh, anyway, sorry.
well, there were no snares in HQ before as well, so
Yep.
I don't imagine.
Oh, the snares are out. Yeah, that's true very much. But I also, well, I mean, I also have to say that the corp cannot really do much now other than just wait for the runner to hurt themselves here. So what would you do? Would you be farming the turning wheel counters on Kakugo now, or maybe just run HQ, of course, but just basically do that and then go for a dig to get the points, or?
I mean, I'm pretty sure HQ is at least 1 Crisium and something else that's of no relevance. What you could do, I imagine, is farm tokens on Kakugo. You do have to run HQ like the remote once every turn just to turn off shipment from Tenon.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we see, value House of Knives. So at this point, I think House of Knives is not used for any special reason. It's mostly just used for Kakugo on HQ.
And this is becoming a very, very tight game for Hermes here, because generally to win, if you have to score 5 points, you have to steal that Obokata, and then
He does have film.
Yeah, no, oh, sorry, true. Yeah, sorry, I totally, completely forgot about it. But still, I mean, okay, anything that you score, okay, won't trigger the damage, so that's okay. But the Kakugos are gonna cost you. Yeah, and there you basically have 4 cards left, Mar pointing out here, and yeah, you have 4 cards left in your hand and your smokestack.
So what I would have done here in Hermes' position is, because he has 7 counters, I would have just bounced once, and then I would have, run with more tokens and just seeing 5 cards, because this way he can only see 4 cards. Snare is offline, so it doesn't do much. Breach Dome can be kind of awkward. I hope Hermes, is seeing. I hope Hermes is seeing the test messages back.
Yeah, we're just testing it. There is a glitch. It's a good glitch. No.
Yeah.
Is it a glitch in the Matrix though? That's the question. Do we see any cats? Well, there is the big feline on after image, so you could basically say that this is the scene from the Matrix where Neo sees the black cat go around twice, but probably not.
They're in the walls. No,
Yep.
So I'm pretty like Hermes is in a very bad spot right now. So
yeah. We lost Hermes, but maybe perhaps we can get Hermes back.
I think he can still come back.
Yeah.
Unless he has like the black screen of death, he should be good.
We have 32 games going on JNet right now, and I'm just wondering, is this a regular Friday thing, or is there some event? I haven't actually checked. I haven't checked what's the name, ABR in a while. But yeah, okay, we have Hermes working with the game. That's good. That's great. Okay, things blacked out.
Yeah.
But we're back.
So Hermes needs a bit of a miracle right now
to
still win this game. I assume, House of Knives will be used indefinitely. He has to not hit breach domes, and he has to find at least an Obokata. He can still like Philotic, I guess. Does attack on Philotic? There's one.
We have exactly. We have Netmarker being used to draw cards up, which is a feature of Netmarker. In case you're wondering how is this possible, yeah, you can place 1 credit or draw 1. Oh, there we go. That's a Philotic. That's a good steal, but you really want that Obokata. That's the thing.
I mean, I think this is still fine. Because it's possible that he also saw a Obokata on this run, so he might know the position of an Obokata. He does still have 2 cards to work with. It's not a lot, but he can just still farm ton on R&D and go for a dig. Problem is shipment is turned on again. Scoring Sting kind of murders them at this point.
Yeah. This is a bit tricky. Okay, we do have the ad, and now what would you do? I mean, I guess it's all about just going to again. Yeah.
But this is your last run.
Or the I mean, So this is one of the things I wanted to point out, and of course there's still 27 cards in R&D, but Quarkbutter is actually running 2 neural EMP. I wonder if there's some sort of a wild play here that could... Yeah, there's an Archive Memories as well, we've seen, but that was already spent, never mind. Because, you know, we can always go neural and then Archive Memories and neural, but yeah.
And he will already use his 1 copy of Preemptive, so like whatever is played right now won't come back anymore. So yeah, Hermes doing the sensible thing, farming tokens. You need them tokens. You need to find an Obokata. You need to win.
Yeah.
There's still Nurend left in the deck, so I imagine something random. Could be a snare, could be an agenda. The thing is, you don't have to run it because I guess if it's an agenda and you lose your last card, you can't run R&D anymore. So it's now or never for Hermes.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of avenues right now that you have to consider. One of them is if you do find an agenda, well, you can only win with Obokata at this point, but there should be still Obokatas left. If you find one, do you need to take it off this turn? Or can you wait till the next turn? Because if you have to take it off this turn, Hermes has basically one more click, and has to run R&D, has to remove the Obokata, otherwise could die to like whatever. Because if server free is a House of Knives, and Hermes loses 1 card on R&D, he's dead. But he has to make a run now because if that's an agenda in server free and it gets scored, he won't ever be able to run in Centrals again. So it's kind of this interesting situation of you have to gauge, what's up. Is that something you have to run? It could be, there's no Rashidas in the deck, so it can be Rashida. It could be like also Ruse of Breached Almost Snare,
Here we go. This is probably, unless it's farming, but I guess this could be the final run of the game.
So the ice is being broken, so I think this is the final run. You see 3 cards. I'm not sure like how many cards he saw last time, and like if
Cake or death. Cake or death, like 3 domes. Yeah, well.
No, I mean 1 dome is I'm gonna stand by this all my life. Haku was an awful card.
Well, I guess, I mean, the meta in the next few months is gonna probably prove you absolutely right because it's gonna be interesting, hopefully, maybe, perhaps. And yeah, Kakugo is a very, very, very evil card, I agree. And yeah, now you mentioned that earlier on, and I totally agree. Like, people after this game are gonna be like, yeah, Kakugo, and I totally agree. Yeah, you're right. Glad to see it go.
I'm not gonna look back how many cards died on Kakugo, but the pure fact that, if you're on 0 cards, you cannot run any Centrals anymore is like very, very grueling. So I think this was a very interesting point in the game because, Hermes had a couple of options. One of them could be saying, there are times when you have to say, if that emote is something very specific, I'm going to leave anyway, right? So maybe the correct call in this situation is to like keep farming tokens, hope that's like a snare, or like wanted to be a tricky snare or something and not an actual agenda.
Yeah.
And then next turn, go for like a deeper dig, try to find the Obokata and win. So that could have been a situation, but it could also been like a 1-pointer, like one of those dedicated neutral nets, just to make Hermes lose the last card in his hand and then just being able to run Centos, because that way he would have been on 6 points, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then cannot run any Centrals anymore. So yeah.
Tough stuff here. We only have late left in the game with Hoshiko and Acme. So now, of course, the teams have the team time now, because in case you're wondering how does communication work in this tournament, the teams are not allowed to communicate during a player's game. I mean, the people who are not playing are, of course, allowed to communicate, but the player themselves they have to be on their own. There's no other option for them to get tips or tricks or anything else from their teammates. And yeah, this is now going to be Late versus Quarkbutter for potentially the last game of the evening. Let's see also what is going to be the choice here for the two
Westbrook,
teams?
have you looked at this Acme deck?
I have not just yet, and I will look at it right now because it's on Asmari deck.
I'm gonna tell you a couple spicy choices in there. There's Chiefs Lee in that deck.
Ooh, Chiefs Lee.
There's Chiefs Lee, there's SIU, and there's a single copy of New William B, single copy of Bionic Labor, and there's a card called Henry Phillips, which I've not known as a card.
No, I knew Henry Phillips was a card, to be honest. So does this mean I'm actually good at this game? No, I'm kidding.
There's a bunch of sysops I don't know of existence. So Henry Phillips is an interesting one. It's also one of those whenever cards. It says whenever the runner breaks subroutine during a run on this server, gain 2 if he gain 2 if she tags. Okay. For a second I thought it's like they have to pay 2 or get tagged, which have been way more awful.
Okay, we have Late representing his team deciding or communicating with PSK what they're gonna play. So yeah, you might hear this in the background, but yeah, anyway, we'll see what the last matchup is going to be quite soon. Decisions. For those of you just joining us right now, thank you for joining. You are watching Fite Club Season 2, Episode 2, Bavarian Beer and Birds of Brigade versus Fear the Masses. We're down to 1 player only on the side of the BBNBB team, with Fear the Masses with 2 more people in the squad. Hello.
I'm sorry to barge in. We're going to be playing Acme against Lila.
Okay, so Acme Lila is the matchup. Thank you very much, Mar, for jumping in. Let me just do my magics. Get out of my stream! You're in my kitchen already! Anyway.
So, I'm honestly not surprised by that choice. Oh, sorry, Mark. You were...
Okay, I'm just flipping things around here. And I'm just making sure I click the right boxes again, because I'm trying to make things nice for you. And you know what? I'm just wondering what's going on here. But, yeah. Oh, jeez. No, there's a quick discussion between the TO, and why do I see this is magical. Like, if you were here, if you could see the things I see. No, I'm kidding, of course. So this is gonna be game 4 coming up your way in a second. I hope we're not gonna have any technical issues with JNet itself. It's been actually treating us quite nicely tonight. So
I'm sorry. Is the password Fite? Sorry, is the password the same as it was before?
Yep, I should be. I'm gonna check, and I'm gonna be with you back in a sec.
Yep. Can't get any.
No worries, I'm gonna send you the password, or Mar is gonna send you the password on Discord, and in the meantime,
Yeah, whoever, just someone send it. That would be appreciated. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised of this matchup choice, because it's not PE. Although I checked the Hoshiko list, and it has Fimkedek, and of course because it's Hoshiko, it has Ifred versus, so could be a decent PE matchup. But I don't think anyone in there. I don't think anyone really wants to play against PE, no matter what deck they run.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in. I'm also failing.
Yeah, that password's not letting me in.
Everybody's failing. They made the table inaccessible.
I figured it out. It's capital F.
Ah, okay. I think we have it already. Okay. Okay, so we're in, yeah.
That JNAT passwords are case sensitive.
Oh, there you go. The more you...
Today I learned of a Jintaki agenda I did not know exist. I learned of a ambient upgrade I did not know exist. I also learned that JNAT passwords are case sensitive. So much to learn.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game for 5 years, and there's still so much to learn.
In the meantime, I'm just going to very quickly remind people that this is Fite Club Season 2, Episode 2, and There will be, oh yeah, they're starting. Actually, I'm gonna shut up. We're just gonna go straight into the game, and I'm gonna remind you of other things later on. For now, we're jumping into the game, which is gonna be 40 minutes. It's gonna be timed, obviously. And we have Late versus Quark Butter, Mulligan and Mulligan. Good luck to everybody. May they have fun. And I honestly have no idea. I mean, Lila is Lila. Lila is a powerhouse in itself, but that Acme is spicy. It's a Baram Acme or Baram Whack Me.
So Endless Yula Cheese Lee is an interesting combination. Acme does have New EMP to finish off that combo.
Yeah.
Has none of the usual suspect Acme eyes, the traditional ones, Universal, Connectivity, Fee, and Pachinko. Pachinko is a hilarious piece of ice. My favorite bit of Pachinko is that endless hunger cannot break it, right? So I always imagine Apex being distracted by a Pachinko machine, like, and then he sees a Pachinko machine, like, oh, I gotta play Pachinko.
This goes deeper because if Apex is a terrible AI trying to destroy the net and everything else, and then you have Section 9 from Ghost in the Shell with what's his name? I forgot. Well, there's this hacker that they have. Well, anyway, he actually has a lot of elderly people playing in his pachinko parlor, and he's using their processing power from their cyber brains to hack into things. So he's this is oh wow. The intertextuality of this is immense. Ishikawa, thank you so much, Frisbee Monkey. You are my hero. Ishikawa, indeed. I was going like, no, Borma is the other Bato. Bato is Bato. Saito is the sniper. Togusa is the guy with the gun and no implants mostly and whatnot. So yeah, thank you so much. Frisbee Monk saved our bacon, or at least my bacon, because it was my bacon at stake.
So I will get back to the game, but I do want to point out that if Apex uses retired people playing on Pachinko as a botnet, that could be a literal zombie network.
Oh, I mean, they're all technically, I guess, alive. Although, if you watched Ghost in the Shell's Solid State Society, that's a heavy one. Yeah. Do watch Ghost in the Shell, people. You could say animation, but no, it's brilliant and it's very serious stuff. Anyway,
go watch the full night version. Go watch the series version.
Go watch everything. Exactly.
Everything that says Ghost in the Shell, just go watch it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you see a couple of setup turns. So late doing it the hard way, clicking for credits. No ecom being played. In the meantime, Quagbutter is just moneying up. There's zero pressure coming from the corp.
Yeah.
So he has all the time in the world. Turntable on the board. I'll check out the agenda suit of Acme.
Yeah.
But yeah, turntable with Bologna in 15 minutes and Fire on the wall is a very correct choice.
Yeah.
Book Culture was also installed. Apparently, there's a Hydra in the deck somewhere, so that is sensible. Makler. Yeah, I assume Leela is just setting up. Again, there's no pressure coming from the corp, right? So you have no reason to run. And yeah, just moneying up makes sense because it's an SIU deck.
Is the corp trying to build a Space Invader out of single cards as pixels? Because that's what I keep seeing here.
I mean, that's what happened. So I guess, you could say that. Fisk Investment Seminar, followed by a film critic and an HQ interface.
Jeez.
My only question is, does this Leela have gang signs? This Leela does not have gang signs because film critic is the restricted card choice.
Does this Leela need anything else ever? Nope. I mean, look at this.
This is like a let's say vegan Leela. We used to say vegan for the Raylan decks that didn't have kill in it.
Yeah.
So this is like a gang signless Leela.
Yeah.
So we have 2 remotes going on for the corp, but none of them do anything yet. So it's an interesting scenario. I imagine one of them is a Chiefs lead.
Yeah. But I mean, you mentioned there's no pressure. Now this is pressure. Imagine all those cards as the runner, and you have no idea whether any of them are agendas or not. And what is happening with server 2? What's going on?
So it's a double advance. So if it's not scored this turn, it could mean a couple of things. So the Acme player might be trying to project a fly on the wall.
True.
the timing here is kind of, well, I guess they guessed first before late res. Usually, common courtesy is if you don't res, before the turn happens, then
Yeah.
you wait until.
Yeah.
Yeah, that res was.
But see, that's late just playing to his username. Basically, he was late with this. Well, anyway. I did mention that yesterday. I did mention, I think yesterday, yeah, that I should organize a vanity game in which late plays against somebody called Never and then wins. And then you say better late than never. I wanted to make the terrible joke again today, so that's it. Anyway.
I love the build up to this joke because that's not the end I expected, but it's very good. I appreciate that joke. Honest to God, joining you tonight was worth for that joke only.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll
Big
never
fan
talk
of
again.
puns.
Well, anyway.
I'm a big fan of puns and dad jokes, and you made my night. Do want to point out, Corporate discarded a networking. Not sure how relevant that will become.
Yeah, and we have a daily quest. Ooh.
There's a daily quest coming down, so Corp is starting to find econ.
Mm-hmm.
Preemptive, of course. The card of there's a lot of one-ofs in this deck, I have to say.
Yeah.
Preemptive is also one of. There's also one of C-Source, All-Seeing Eye, Exchange, and Closed Accounts. So, well, I guess, yeah, networking doesn't do much against those because networking is really only relevant against hard to use.
This is the scariest Leela I've ever seen, with 3 Liberated accounts on the table and an additional Earthrise Hotel. Just to, like, this is holiday Leela, like, just chilling, watching movies, listening to music.
I mean, again, the corp is only making money. They're not really much afraid of them having money because Leah also has a bunch of credits to her account. All of them were liberated. So, that works out well. Rashida being completely ignored. Single ice Rashida server, not run, not trashed, not giving a damn about it. Doof being trashed. Interesting.
I do remember that there's a special rule in Fite Club as well. In the last game, if you're the last player on the team playing, if you reach 50 credits faster than your opponent, you win, actually. No, I'm kidding, of course. But I think this is what they're both going for. Whoever's gonna get. I mean, look at the pyramid. This is perfect.
I want to say, look at that beautiful symmetry. Like late is building, a pyramid, a monument.
Yeah. Oh, now it's broken a bit.
No. I mean, yeah, it's probably just the wrong card. The pyramids. And just completing the pyramid, a bit offset, but it's perfectly graduate. So
yeah.
You see a forged fight. Server free is a chief sleep. Of course, it's the chief sleep. I would imagine that being trashed eventually. So I'm not sure why Quark Butter opts not to run at all. Because he's always richer than the Corp. C-Source is not really a threat. I'm also pretty much surprised he just threw away diversion of funds. But I guess HQ has 3 pieces of ice, so that's kind of inconvenient. I have no idea how this game will play out.
I was going to say exactly the same thing right now. Yeah, if you ask me right now who's gonna win, I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, if the game just goes as the game goes, I imagine Quark Butter will eventually find, Amina, and then now they will start running, I guess.
Ooh, HQ interface twice. That's gonna be quite something. Jesus. Well, the thing is,
so here's the thing, though. Server 2 is double advanced, and I don't think Quark Butter is showing the correct respect to a fly on the wall.
There you go.
Which is exactly what's happening right now, which could be closed accounts into All-Seeing Eye, for example. So I'm pretty sure that remote should have been checked, but now there's a tag.
No way, that's an undo. What's gonna happen?
There's an undo click. You're up, resing Rashida first, so the Leela bounce does not put back Rashida, I guess. Right. Could also dress Chief's Sleep. Yep, I think that makes perfect sense.
Chief's Sleep. One of the happiest, deadliest cards in all of Netrunner.
So something is bounced. So I'm curious to see what we do with the 2 tags. Closed accounts is a natural follow-up. And I guess All-Seeing Eye could be brutal here, or just trashing the film critic.
Yeah.
So trashing the film critic makes Bellona way more relevant here. but there's I think only one. Oh, two. There's 2 copies of Bellona. So yeah. So this is a unfortunate turn of events for Quad Butter. So now late is way richer, and Quad Butter is on 0 credits.
There's also a second copy of Film Critic though in this deck, so Leela still has a Film Critic somewhere in hand. Just
I'm not sure
checking.
how relevant Film Critic is in the matchup, to be
Yeah,
honest.
true.
I'm not sure how many. There's only one turning wheel, so maybe trashing that would have been more relevant. But we'll see how this plays out. So yeah, Quad Butter on 6 credits out of deck. So I imagine a lot of clicking for credits will be happening. Now I think it's way more understandable not to run because now C Source is actually a menace.
Yeah.
Late just churning through their deck. 15 cards left in R&D. He's Rashiding, not even using Rashida, having so many cards.
Yeah, that Rashida is just on holidays as well.
Just taunting, just sitting there taunting, saying, "Yeah, run me, trash me, get a C Source." So I imagine server 1 could be also Bologna. And the cool thing is, if Quark Butter actually steals something relevant at one point, late could always see source exchange.
Yeah.
Film Critic has, a neat side effect of making Bologna easier to steal, but also if you keep the agenda on Film Critic, it cannot be exchanged.
IP block. Okay.
IP block being rezzed. Quark we're using Mackler, which is not a very efficient breaker to have. Checking archives to keep late honest, I guess, but I mean, Quark Butter has a complete rig, so there's still a chance, but I'm pretty much favoring late right now to win this. Late slow rolling something in Sur 1. Zero fucks given about Quark Butter getting in there ever. Late is like, yeah, if you want to get in here, get in here. You get Chief. You're gonna get Chief in your face.
That is very true.
You want to put out Quark Butter only has 4 cards left, so if that Chief Sleep ever gets 5 tokens,
it's game.
heaven.
Yeah. I was just going to say, looking at Chief Slee's art, it is the smiliest card of Netrunner, I guess, and it looks like a person, like, Chief Slee looks like a person. If I went on a date with Chief Slee, I would be like, hey, you're cute, and then I would just run away very quickly, because that's one. I think they call it like, excuse my French, but this is a shit-eating grin, basically. Anyway, we have a Bologna.
Yeah, we have a Bologna. I'm not going to comment on the Chiefs lead right there. But I do want to point out there's one more smilier card in the game. I'm never sure what the card is actually called, but it's
Eater? No.
It's the card with a smiley face on it and like the body of.
Oh, the self-defense construct or.
Pachinko getting rezzed.
Pachinko! Pachinko!
Pachinko. And then follow up the slot machine.
This is a casino, It's like slot machine, pachinko.
Yeah, you're right. Acme is a casino. So interesting choice on slot machine. Do you just lose 3 credits? Do you break it to make the corp lose 1 credit? He does have 25 credits, so I'm not sure if you're going to toe on credits. It's a good idea, and he can always just pop the Rashida. So yeah, not sure. I guess that's what Quark Butter is considering right now. If he wants to break it, again, I don't think it's a good idea. He will see 3 cards in HQ though, so if there is something to steal, so you can turntable this for the Bellona.
Yeah.
For 1 more point, or you can take your chances to hope there's a 1 pointer there that you can also flip for the Bellona. So I think that's a very interesting choice.
Yeah, you can also bounce things.
You can bounce things, yeah. It's a classic Leela thing of you have to bounce first and then access card.
Here we go, the turntable.
Yeah. Swapping wheel for the Bellona. I mean, if you steal something else, you can always swap it for the wheel.
15 minutes! That's more points. You can swap the 15 minutes for the Beal.
Yep, you can swap the 15 minutes for the Beal.
This could be game.
Wow, I don't imagine, it is being game because that was the last access.
No, yeah, sorry. I mean, like in the long run, this is 5 points,
Yeah.
and the corp is down to 2.
Yeah, but the corp is rich. You did a successful run. So there's all sorts of mayhem that could happen. Late could also use or shoot at this point if he needs a specific card to punish the runner, which is not happening. So I assume biotic. What? I'm confused.
I don't know. I think that might be. Yeah, I don't know.
Why is advancing? Sorry.
Could be a fly on the wall and then exchange of information for the 15 minutes with the Bologna. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. Oh, Mar very.
Ooh, okay, so exchange is off the table.
Yeah, okay. I didn't actually notice that. Thank you so much, Mar, for being the brain here. And that's the only copy of this.
Yeah, late is using on new turn. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes. I don't have a biotic in my hand. I don't have an advanceable card in my hand. That never happened. Please look at the droids you're looking for.
Okay, so Quark Butter, uses the command on new turn as well. Yeah, Rashida being popped.
Yep.
9 cards in deck. I did not, honest to God, I did not see this comeback happen. Oh, we're here.
Yeah.
Late is on 2 points. Quark is on 5. Something needs to happen for, to punish. I'm not sure how the exchange got into the bin. It was not used, right? So exchange was just ditched at one point.
I believe so, yeah. We can later on, analyze the game. But yeah, that's what happened probably here, yeah.
Also, that Chiefs sleep just chilling out there, not being trashed, not getting tokens, not being iced. It's just there.
But wait, I'm just wondering. Wait a second. Whenever I encounter a piece of ice.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's one way. Problem is Chiefs Lee is still on ice, so he can just Quark just go and trash it and doesn't have to worry about dying a gruesome death. Although I guess if you have to lose some way, like losing at the hands of Chiefs Lee is one story to tell.
I was actually going to ask you, because we had Quark Butter get into HQ, and then Chiefs Lee didn't get any tokens whatsoever for that access there. Oh no, because in the run, of course there were no tags, and then okay, never mind. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that I didn't miss that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Chiefs Lee gets tokens for unbroken subroutines.
Yeah. Okay.
So usually you pair it with something like Endless Blue, which is in this deck, or Tour Guide, which has 1 billion.
Yeah. That's a good question coming from Art. Was everything on Slot Machine broken? And
I don't think so.
I don't think Slot Machine. It was broken. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we're yeah. Okay. Everything was broken. Yeah. No, it's okay. We have a deal confirmed. It's okay.
I checked it in his log as well. Yeah. So Quark knows Chiefs Lee is legal, is pure murder. Card being advanced will be scored though. It's not scored, it's solo. You could solo a Beal. There's only one Beal in the deck, so this can't be a Beal. Could be a food, I guess. 17 credits is a lot of credits.
Yeah.
I guess you could go in there for it, but why? You don't actually need to.
Yeah, I think 17 credits at some point earlier in this evening was mentioned or was identified as 1 billion credits. So yeah, I absolutely agree. Well, anyway, no, it's a lot of money and it's absolutely enough to get places. The tag on Pachinko, of course, applies. So that's a sweet combo. Acme and Pachinko, come on, so cool. Why is not everybody playing this?
For Pachinko, gruesome. So breaking that slot machine will cost, I think, at least 6 credits. Fire! Ooh, we're getting Slee tokens. Free Slee tokens to be exact. Nice. And then so Quark Butter says free access, and then on the first exit. So I want to say that going for HQ makes sense if you assume there's points in there because you see free cards from HQ, and you don't want to go into the bullshit of Sir 1.
Oh wow!
Well deserved win from Quag Butter. Played smart, played well, accessed the right cards.
This was wild, I have to say. Honestly,
this is a wild ride. Sleeve
Yeah.
didn't get tokens in the end. I do have to point out, Sleeve finished the game with 3 tokens.
Absolutely. I wasn't expecting this happening.
There was a lot of expected things in this game. I do have to point out.
Yeah, I also will be very honest with everybody. I was kind of rooting for a late just to turn the tide of the whole event around a bitsy bit. But that didn't happen. So here we are then, and we are in the final situation after 4 games, after 4 quick matchups in the second episode of Fite Club this season. The Bavarian Beer and Bretzel Brigade, who have eliminated the unpronounceables in the first game of this season, are eliminated by Fear the Masses. So we have new winners. Congratulations, Fear the Masses. This was really well played.
Yeah,
what was your favorite game of the evening, if any?
I think it has to be this one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a wild ride. Like when that fly on the wall was scored and closed accounts was played, I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Oh, I think we have Mar just inviting people. So yeah, she's jumping between the teams. If you can hear her on my stream, that's just because it's Mar's voice and she has a big voice when she wants to. So yeah, captains are welcome to join us on the streamers channel here. And if they jump in, we're gonna have them well, hopefully. There we go. Mobius Strip is joining us. Hello,
guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Well played, guys. Well played.
Good games.
Both those games kind of went down to the wire.
Yeah, that Acme game was wild.
Hello.
When the fly on the wall was scored, I thought it's game over. Leela has no game, and then you went up to 5 points with Leela, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, Fisk and Turntable can be pretty lethal.
I was a bit flooded there. I had like 4 or 5 agendas in hand or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that you got to time the Fisk after Rashida is an excellent time because they've got rid of cards they don't want and they've only got cards they do want. So a whole bunch of extra ones is a good thing.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I was wondering, Late, did you ditch the exchange of information at one point?
Yes, I was just admitting to my team that I mistakenly threw it away because I thought it was the all-seeing eye, and then was like,
oh yeah.
Oh man, I was waiting for the exchange to I was hoping to get the Bologna back,
Yeah.
And then in the end I looked at in my R&D, where is it? And I only see the all-seeing eye, and I'm like, oh my god, what a silly mistake.
So
I was playing for that. I was like, I can only really make one run, so I have to time it. Otherwise, you will see source EOI and wait to back in yours and not in mine.
Right.
I was as patient as I could be.
When when you let me undo my turn, I was trying to play Biotic at fast advance out the fly on the wall, which was on the board, and exchange. Then I realized I don't have exchange in hand.
Oh no.
So
that would have been a killer play as well.
So I don't know how the exchange of information went into the bin. It must have been, I don't know, brain fart or something.
Yeah.
Those MBN cards are like very, very similar. The art is kind of the same. They're all very.
I was kind of after the turn when I up double advanced the fly on the wall to play the close accounts next round. Mm-hmm. My heart was beating so wild, and I think I was still recovering from that turn. Then when I threw out the exchange of information,
I was a little bit greedy with my setup. I should have had a run, but never mind. Worked out in the end, obviously.
Yeah, so when that double advance and not score happened, I was immediately, that's a fly on the wall, because like, I'd had flashbacks in back of the day when breaking news was double advance and remote, and you have to kind of respect it. When I saw you disrespect completely, don't care in the world.
I think my favourite party tonight was Ian's Arza game. I was sat there thinking, man, you've got 3 cards in R&D. Don't think you're going to win this, and he pulled it off. I was very impressed.
That was so impressive. That was a good start. A good start to see that.
He had a really rough game. I thought Ken was on top pretty much the whole time, and he pulled it out of the bag.
We got lucky in hitting some drafters. Really saved things. Fully operational back in hand. It's clutch. It's probably the turn. He went from 0 to 10 credits. Got back in it.
It is indeed a bounce.
Yeah, that was a particularly painful face check. That really turned things around for me.
I want to just say to the Bavarian Beer and Vessel Brigade, you guys constructed some really cool, really off-meta, really fun decks, and it was a blast to watch them.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Some cool stuff in there.
My NBN deck was from the player Bam Ramwu. That's why it's also called Bam Ram Whack Me. I don't know. So I did not come up with that deck, but it was pretty fun when I played versus him, and so I thought I want to play that for the Fite Club because it's great fun.
Marv, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, I don't want to play favorites, but I was very sad to not see Smoke overcome the PE, because he was like, you were on a roll, like you were absolutely undefeated. And then
yeah.
Like, oh.
Well, he did activate his God mode in his first match. So
I had a good start then as well. It was cool. 2 pieces of ice and a hedge fund so I can res those big nasty. It was a DNA tracker and then a Nancy. I was like, please run, please run, please run. Yeah, it was cool. It's just a game, so whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
I do have to point out, we coined the expression, Vesper came up with smokestack. Now you have to reference your deck when you're playing Smoke as smokestack.
Okay.
That's like
I will happily. I never really give them actual names, just stuff to remind me what's in it. So we'll do that before the next Fight Club. I'll give them a proper name.
But yeah, that game kind of felt like an uphill battle, being on a 40-card deck with no protection, and also no clot stopping the the bio.
Yeah, the fast advance. Yeah.
That's why we sent in PE.
Yeah. I played that deck quite a bit as well, and Smoke is a good matchup for me. Yeah, I was hoping to find my voter intimidation so I could choose whether I'd get rid of Netmaker or whether I'd get rid of Film Critic, but never actually found it, sadly.
Right.
I didn't play any games, but I'm going to take total credit for our success, our victory. It's only thanks to my stewardship as team captain.
Absolutely.
Well,
to be fair, you invited us, so I wouldn't be here if you hadn't invited me. So yeah, go for it.
I have to say, I did not have a lot of confidence that if I win this one, I could stand the path of the apocalypse in the next round. So was kind of.
I think Hoshiko was coming for you if you had pulled that off.
So the game was the fight was kind of already over. So I thought just make the best of it,
It was close.
Yeah,
it was close. It was really close. That fly on the wall closed accounts play was beautiful.
Yeah, I advanced it 2 times just to make it look more like an NGO, and was hoping,
Yeah.
Smart. It was smart.
That is exactly what I thought it was as well, sadly. I was a bit guilty concentrating too much on my own game. Yes, it was very well played. I had a good fun tonight. Thanks.
Me too.
They were fun games.
It was a blast.
Definitely fun games. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm very glad. I'm very glad you had fun.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just gonna take the opportunity to announce that since the new MWL hit so soon, so much sooner than we thought, we're gonna be changing a bit the format. The actual teams will have a week break where they can actualize their decks, and then we will keep an open registration for any new team that wants to join, and it's gonna be a never-ending fight.
Nice.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
An endless brawl.
yeah, I will be posting the new rules. So eliminated teams can just register again and just get in queue to be able to participate again.
It's cool, yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks for
Then
organizing all this.
Oh, I'm the one having the most fun of all of you. So don't worry about it. I love this format. It's so fun, and it's 3 versus 3 makes much sense because we're done in like 2 hours.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say also the previous time is that if I play on Jinteki for 3 hours, after that I feel very tired. I feel like my brain is like mashed potatoes or something. While in this format, if we play for 3 hours, even if I don't play all the games, but I just follow, after that I'm full of adrenaline. So the format is very nice.
The knockout part's very exciting, I agree.
Yeah, it makes it much funner, much more fun. So
It's a great format for a spectator sport too, because that's all I did today. But I had a super good time watching it go down.
Yeah, and we were talking with Vesper earlier that we'll be very happy if any eliminated teams want to get on stream and commentate the games. And
cool.
Anyone that is interested can go on the streamers chat and just like how do you say volunteer yourself.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. I'm debating doing some streaming on Sunday and commentating them as well, so I'm practicing.
Nice.
Awesome.
So Mark, just to like point this out again, the registration for the Fite Club is open again, right? If people want to join in.
Yes.
All right. I think I'm going to make a team.
Yeah, the thing is that at some point the MWL will be changing again. But then what we will do is we will have very interesting games from people from the old MWL with the new MWL, and we'll see how like the decks change and everything.
Okay.
Sounds awesome. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to playing new MWL games.
Okay, guys.
Sorry. Go on.
I think some Mobius wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, I just said same. Maybe it'll be great.
Because I just
Busy
saw
and bring Apex. Probably not.
You're definitely not going first if you bring an Apex.
No, I probably won't. They won't do that.
To make it a bit spicy, what we're going to be doing is that eliminated teams have to change the decks. Like if you were playing Criminal and Jinteki, you have to change factions.
Eliminated teams.
Yeah, if you want to rejoin, you will have to change the factions you were playing.
The players will have to mix it up. It's cool.
Yes. Just to put a bit of spice in it.
Keep it exciting. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So, if anyone wants to say anything else?
Yes. So, thanks and congratulations to the masses. They are really fearful.
As intended.
And thanks to P-Space Kitten for organizing and for Vesper for doing the streaming.
Thanks for having us.
It has been very fun.
BBNBB, beer, bread, Bavarian stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Go have a pretzel.
And good luck in your next rounds. And GG, well played.
Definitely good luck.
We will see you back in the Fite Club someday.
Probably.
Round 2.
Time it's personal.
Yeah, that's the thing with these Fite Club games. You end up wanting to play more. It's never like, well, we're done. Like, I want to get revenge.
It's cool. It's really exciting. I mean, as I said earlier, the heart was pumping that one turn, and it didn't happen for quite some time.
Yeah.
This is so good to hear, to be honest. Like, I'm very happy you're all enjoying. So, The teams will be receiving news tomorrow about how to change and how time. Next week we will not be having a fight, and we will resume in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Thank you very much again. And
Very much.
we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Yeah, GG. Well played, everyone.
Thank all.
Bye bye. Good night.
Everyone, bye bye.
Okay, here we are. This was it. We had both teams jumping in and commentating and sharing experiences, and that was quite awesome. This was quite an intense, barely 2.5 hour stream, but there were some really excellent moments and there were some really interesting games to experience. So this was definitely working. You also heard the updates about the format, so there will be some changes, and of course you will be able to sign up soon. So if you enjoyed this, and if you have 2 other players that would like to try out, if there are 3 of you, do sign up. The rules will be posted soon in places. You will be able to totally witness that. I would like to thank my co-commentator Peter for being awesome and absolutely entertaining and expert on all the different subjects, including my terrible jokes.
Your jokes are awesome, Vesper. Thank you for having me, and it's always fun to commentate with you.
Absolutely. I mean, we should totally, if we ever meet in the World's Finals or something, we should totally commentate our own games. But anyway.
Yeah, while we're playing the games, we should, just follow through the lines, and then the people don't have to commentate it after, because the commentary is happening during the games.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you also heard that this is going to become an infinite series, so there's going to be some naming changes. Season 2 is going away. Speaking of which, actually, that's the thing I'm going to pull up on the screen very quickly now, if I manage to, because you have to click things. But yeah, we do have the next matchups already set up. So we will have Fear the Masses, the current or the reigning champions, well, the people who are holding the others, all the masses blocking the others from being actually the seat holders in Fite Club. And they're going to be facing off against the Replicating Criminals. So this is going to be like the masses versus Replicating Criminals. Is this like a Clone War or something? Are we getting into Star Wars territory?
Not exactly, but close.
I think you're muted, Mar. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I think it's more like gang wars.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Makes sense. So we're gonna have gang wars not next week. Excuse me, not next week, but in 2 weeks' time we will be coming back to Fite Club with some deck changes. So Peter, what do you think? Are people gonna totally, completely change everything upside down?
Well, not exactly upside down, but I do imagine the PE decks kind of going away.
Yay! No more Kakugo. You're gonna be so happy to watch those games.
Yes, and also as Marius won't be played because they're not legal anymore.
That is very true.
I do imagine substantial changes happening.
That is very true. So all the deck lists you see here will probably be archived for posterity, and then there will be a new slew of decks here to enjoy, and there will be made public the same way exactly. So again, if you want to see those decks before they fade away, it's tiny.cc/fiteclub with a T, Fite Club, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Okay, any last wishes, requests? I don't know, greetings. I'm leaving the microphones open, and do let me know, and I'm gonna be checking something else somewhere else, but the stream is yours for now.
No, I just want to hack the planet at one point, so if I can just say so.
I just want to thank everyone that participated and came into streams, and I'm so absolutely happy to hear not only after the game but the past one, like everyone is having so much fun, and just I'm very excited to what it's to come. And now you can scream hack the planet.
Hack the planet!
Well done, indeed. So you should be saving the planet instead of hacking it. But never mind, we can have a separate stream about that at some point, I think, about the philosophy of cyberpunk and whatnot.
As for the proper follow-up for Hack the Planet is shut up and get in the car.
No, that's true. But I'm a boomer, so I can totally do the other thing, which is like, you should be saving the planet. And you can go like, okay, boomer, and I'm like, I'm not that character from Battlestar Galactica. Well, anyway, so memes everywhere. Thank you so much. This was awesome and amazing and absolutely great. 2 reminders, very, 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 very quick reminders for people expecting more Netrunner soon. Next weekend on the 27th, there will be the Black Lives Matter tournament organized by Nisei, by Serenity or Reality Check. And basically, that's going to be streamed with some special guests and so on. I won't be involved in the streaming, so do keep an eye out on the usual news channels to figure out how it's going to be streamed, but it will be streamed. It will be quite something. And there will be some great news to share around this tournament as well. So yeah, exciting times. On the 28th, so in 7 plus around 10 days, we will be coming back into lockdown country. Lockdown number 6, the undiscovered lockdown, is coming your way with some exciting bans. So the standard ban list will be applicable because it goes live on the 26th. And there are some extra bans also, like there won't be any Bellona in the game. If you're curious, of course, about the details, do go to Always Be Running. Everything should be there. All the information. You can still sign up. So yeah, please do so. Okay, so we hacked the planet, we planked the Hanet, and then I'm just gonna wish you all a great time of day, evening, night, whatever you have there. And I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for being a part of this. This was awesome. Ciao.